All right, welcome back. We are back with Brindlewood Bay, and we will be doing a special holiday mystery in advance of the holiday because I just had this group for a two-shot and I wanted to just make sure that we kind of like snuck this in here. So we will be playing Have Yourself a Merry Little Murder, a mystery that I wrote for Brindlewood Bay, okay? Based on or inspired by various Hallmark movie tropes. Like, so certain things that appear in every Hallmark movie may appear in this mystery. At least we'll try anyway. All right. So where we left off with the Mavens is some time has passed since their last mystery, which was All Hallows Scream for the Halloween event. All right. So they didn't have the same conditions as before, so some time has passed, like I said, but they want to engage in the cozy move. And this move is to allow the Mavens to clear away any conditions that they built up from the last session. Since there was no real last session, I just slapped some conditions on them so they can engage in this cozy move, which is fun. When you have an intimate moment with another Maven while one of you is engaged in your cozy activity, so one of you has to be engaged in your cozy activity somehow, you may each clear an appropriate condition. If it's your cozy activity, you can also stumble on a clue relevant to an active mystery. And then you, as the Maven, would be able to tell me what that clue is. So you create something towards the mystery that you're trying to solve. Oh, and the clue cannot conclusively solve the mystery by itself. So that's the killer. No, you can't do that. Okay. So for funsies, to be able to try out the cozy move, I gave each one of our Mavens today a condition just to kind of, like enact it. So Astrid has worried. Diane has bah humbug. Effie has rejection. And then Birdie has marked by Sheriff Dalrymple. All right. So before we get involved with the cozy moves, all right, we're going to start, of course, with our cozy vignettes, which is our credit crawl during the during the Brindlewood Bay like theme song. Da, 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 and we're going to go ahead and have the Mavens tell us about what's been going on, like, again, just like a little narration of their day, like their morning start. I mean, things that have it doesn't have to be the same scene that you narrated last time. I mean, that's the beauty of the cozy vignettes. It's like pretty much like, what you kind of want to mention that you've been doing. And I don't think anybody has marked Shadow in the Garden, which would make a big difference on how the cozy vignettes would look from that point onward. So that's good. All right. So again, Brindlewood Bay theme song going on. Da, 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 da. Credit crawl for each of the characters. Who is starting this time? Who do we zoom in on first? All right, Diane.
So I think we're doing like a Christmas special credit crawl this time, and it like starts with like the sound of like some bells jingling, and I think the screen is black, and then all of a sudden, when an image comes up on it, you see the terrifying Skeksis head, and then it zooms out, and you see that it is actually like on top of Diane's Christmas tree, and she is just sort of like like happily putting like light strings up and stuff like that, and kind of doing her bebop dance thing, and then it'll transition to somebody else.
Fun. Who's next that it transitions to for this holiday season?
Let's see. Astrid's home is almost ruthlessly simple in its decor. Very elegant, very plain, very simple. But she is decorating for the holidays when we see her. This consists of some simple pine garland across the mantle and the banister of the staircase. And one of those little, I believe they're German, the little tower with the candles making the upper part spin with little angels. And she sets that, lights it, turns on some classical choral Christmas music, and smiles. This is clearly exactly what she wants it to be.
We fade out from that, and then who do we go to next?
And say if unless Birdie's ready, I feel like a good like juxtaposition to that would be Effie's small little house that she has, or whatever she lives in, is just you guys know those people who love the little tiny Christmas villages. Okay, take that to like 13, and I feel like that's Effie in like the obnoxious sweater. Maybe even Birdie knit it for her, and she's like walking around like putting more little like mini people in, and just like, yes, perfect. No, hold on, like readjusting it, like tweaking them so that they're just perfect. The little miniature people like ice skating. She's got the train going in the background, choo choo.
Do you have little Mavens in your village?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like a mix of like Brindlewood Bay, like a miniature diorama almost of like Brindlewood Bay, and then like maybe like three other like cities that she's lived in or been around like in like growing up. So it's like, but they're all mashed together and right next to each other. And then there's a train going through them, and then there's just like an obscene amount of Christmas lights, because I, as a player, love Christmas lights. So Effie's going to love Christmas lights. So she's gone all out, and it's just the most Christmassy Christmas.
All right, and then Birdie is last but not least. And she's definitely going to be knitting up a storm. She's sitting in her favorite easy chair. She's got a cup of warm apple cider, perhaps alcoholic, just by her side. And you can see her little dogs running around her house, and she is just knitting, 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 knitting. Maybe she is then in the kitchen and mixing up a batch of cookies and talking on the phone, and it's one of the landlines with a huge cord that wraps around and around and around her body as she's talking and cooking and walking around the kitchen.
Oh, so lovely. Oh my gosh. All right, so we fade out of that, and then yeah, usually if it's some kind of like, Christmas special, they usually have like, definite guests and something like that, but I wasn't that prepared today, so and you fade in. Now, who is going to be paired up with whom? It would be, again, involving one person's cozy activity, and then another shared with another maven. So you can be at each other's houses, or it could be, at like some venue, like, where you're engaging in the activity. Let's do 2 cozy moves. So like pair up, and then just figure out like who's paired with whom and what cozy activity you are engaging in. Okay.
Can I be paired up with Birdie?
Sure. All right. Let's see. So it would either be photography or knitting. So whose cozy activity are we doing?
What would you think about us doing a cozy activity where we're going around downtown Brindlewood Bay yarn bombing stuff?
Yes. Fully in favor of this.
I'm afraid to ask what that means.
Oh, yeah. So yarn bombing is like where you kind of make this, I don't know, like it's not really a bomb, but like a big explosion of like fabric and yarn and stuff like that. And then you go put it in public places and like drape it over things. And it's very cool looking.
We actually have one just down the street from my house in the little historic district. They made a tree cozy.
Yeah,
They knitted a tree cozy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there is a link. So now you can see what some yarn bombing looks like. Yeah, so if that works for you, I know it's like sort of knitting adjacent, but does that fit
Totally.
our okay, cool. So like maybe we kind of zoom in on them, and Diane is kind of like trailing sort of dejectedly behind Birdie a little bit while they're walking in a circle around this tree, right? just
Knitting,
trying to like wrap it.
walking. Yep.
Yeah. And Diane is just like, I just don't understand why she's not coming to visit again this year. It's been 3 years. Like, this is the longest it's been, and it's just ruining my entire holiday.
Oh, I'm so sorry that's happening to you. Here, hold this ball of yarn.
Okay. she takes one of the things that she's holding, she tucks it under one arm, and then she holds onto the other thing.
I don't know what the sheriff's going to think of this, but it'll make for some great pictures.
Yeah, I'm sure that this is going to be a mystery he's going to be trying to solve for the next year. What nefarious devil yarn bombed downtown Brindlewood Bay?
Just keep an eye out for him.
I heard he's been harassing you.
Yeah, I don't know what his deal is. Ever since we solved that last mystery, he seems to be very unhappy with my presence. You know, I was driving up to the yarn store the other day, and I swear he was following me for 3 blocks, just waiting for me to slide through a stop sign.
Man has nothing better to do in this town than harass old ladies, just trying to have a good time.
Just trying to have a good time.
I don't know.
Do you think I should add some yellow in here? I think I've got blue.
I think, and she like digs around. Yep, here's the yellow, and she pulls it out from under her armpit and hands it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, darling.
Yeah. You know what we should do? We should get together with some of our friends, and we should lead that Sheriff Dalrymple on a merry chase around this town that he'll never forget.
Oh, that would be so fun. That would be just the thing to cheer you up, I think.
I think it would be. I watched this spy movie once where this guy had like 8 different cars, and he just kept going around corners and changing cars and changing clothes. We should totally do that.
We absolutely should. Let's plan on it. What are you doing this weekend?
Well, I know what I'm doing this weekend now. And she's going to give Birdie a big old hug.
I think as you guys are hugging, like, you know, the camera pans out and up, and then we see in the distance, like on the streets, there is a great big banner that's being put up, and it's touting the Great Holiday Gala at the BelCanto Concert Hall, celebrating 50 years, 50th anniversary. And it's bright red with like all sorts of decorations on it, and a little bit of kind of like a sneak peek about what kind of little holiday ornaments they're going to have available this year. But I'll get more into that as we go to the other scene, the other cozy scene with Astrid and Effie.
So let's see. Do you want to hang out while I do origami, or shall I come over and watch you work on your models?
So I was thinking if you wanted to do origami pieces to put into the models, maybe you could
Ooh.
like show me how to fold tiny things.
Yes,
I'd
absolutely.
like to know how to fold the smallest of swans. Well,
IRL, my sister works with 1-inch origami paper, so
that's skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean we could be probably at my place, but I've cleared off a table with enough space for doing the origami. There's Christmas music playing. It's probably a touch louder than most people would want it. But I'm just like you know, like my sweater has bells on it, so it's jingling as I'm moving, and I'm like, is this right? And I'm holding them, and it's questionably a swan.
It's in the right direction.
So do you know what we're gonna do for Christmas? Are we gonna have another like a friends Christmas? What do they call it? Not the Friendsgiving. What's the Christmas version?
I'm certainly not
Pollyanna. I think
opposed.
it's a Pollyanna.
Pollyanna? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like there was a term for it.
Yeah. I don't really have any other plans. So yes, I think that would be nice. I I'm glad to get out of the house. I'm rather worried. I had to take Largo to the vet, and we're not quite sure what's up with him.
Aw.
So he's just not eating too well, and I'm hoping that the change of food that the vet recommended is going to perk him back up, but so that's really been taking up my time and attention. Haven't thought that much about Christmas, honestly.
Oh. Yeah, I was hoping that I'd made, and I'm gonna pull out a model, and it's like an old-fashioned truck carrying like Christmas trees, like maybe like yay big. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I know I was bummed like last weekend. I'm kind of getting over it finally, but I'd entered this into Sherwood's like their little gallery. They're
Uh-huh.
having like their Christmas showing. And I entered this, and they told me no because they weren't taking 3D pieces again this year, which I think is just ridiculous. So, and I'm gonna set it like on my front table. It's almost like proudly displayed in like the rest of my stuff. It's like, so I'm working on getting over that, but maybe I'll try again next year with a painting or something.
You could do that. Or you could look for another venue that is more open to your kind of art.
Possibly. I was thinking what could be fun. Maybe we can all do like rent out a place and have our own exhibit. You could do origami. We could get some of Diane's photography. Birdie could knit some like plushies or sweaters or like, interesting like Vogue clothes we could wear. Yeah, it could
That
be
could
fun.
be fun. Yeah. All get to show off our own sorts of things.
Yeah. I'd lean over. So there's probably kind of on the table with us, there's more model stuff. There's also, I don't know about you guys if you do arts and crafts, but there's that always questionable craft person who has like a plate of cookies right next to, the plate that has glitter that you've been using to like roll stuff in or whatever. So the cookies may have glitter on them, but I'm gonna pull over the plate, grab one, offer you.
I will take one, discreetly brush away glitter to the best of my ability.
Like, yeah, I don't seem to notice. I'm just chomping away, still trying to fold a little swan. And be, so
I meticulously clean the cookie frosting off my hands before touching the good paper again.
I imagine I'm using like printer paper. Like
Right.
I brought us a stack of printer paper, and I'm like, yes.
Meanwhile, I've got lovely imported paper, then making a Christmas tree this big and then folding a wee little star for the top of it.
I love it. Can
I
you show
think
me
as-
how to make a star?
I think
Let's
it's
try with a larger size.
I think as we zoom in and we see like the lining, the little figures and origami done by Astrid, lining the table, as well as going to the big, not quite so tiny origami done by Effie. I think we fade out of that scene and we fade into this mystery. All right, so again, this is the time of the Great Holiday Gala. As Brindlewood Bay nears Christmas time and the BelCanto Concert Hall celebrates its 50th anniversary, the Holly Stamp Card Company sponsors the gala, making their mark with their banners and display of limited edition keepsakes and ornaments. It's a week-long event with choir and orchestra holiday concerts, board member and community dinners, culminating in the gala ball and charity auction of the Holly Stamp display. Unfortunately, the beloved founder and owner of the BelCanto, Miles Greaves, passed away before the celebration began, and his family gathers not just for the gala, but his funeral. Notables arrive to pay their respects during this festive but serious time, and even the BelCanto's former stars will pay homage by singing at the gala. One of the BelCanto alumni, Celia Domingo, has returned to town after her fiancé cheated on her while in New York. She came to visit and stay with her mother and affectionately pamper her favorite great aunt, Astrid, with tickets to the gala for her and her friends. So, paint the scene. This week-long gala has something for everyone, and it is an amazing event for young and old from all walks of life. What aspect of the gala does each of you look forward to the most now that you have access to everything?
Well, for me, it's got to be the music. I mean, the getting to hear good live music on a regular basis is something I miss not living in New York anymore. And so getting to hear these singers coming back from all over and so on is really what I'm excited about in all of this.
I think I would be excited about the ice sculpture, and they have like a ice carving contest, which hands down I would try my hand at. Probably not be good, but it's a great excuse to play with a chainsaw.
For me, it's definitely the huge spread of food with like cheese, different kinds of cheeses and fancy crackers and fruit and little tiny cakes, the little tiny bundt cakes, and all in like multitude of different flavors. And they have a fountain that has chocolate coming down off of it, and you can dip in strawberries. And there's several very fancy looking servers milling about with trays full of drinks that I seem to be very, very excited about.
I think maybe Diane used to do some fashion photography, when she was younger. So she's always excited about, new fancy people coming to town wearing their new fancy clothes, so that she can kind of see how fashion has changed.
Excellent. Now, at the funeral, Celia meets with one of her old friends from school, who has also returned home to visit over the holidays, and they reminisce about old times. Celia's fiancé has also come here to Brindlewood Bay, presumably to win her back. Before the funeral, family and friends attend the wake, with disastrous consequences. Greaves's drunk great-nephew, Nathan Horn, declared, "Yeah, it's a pity Miles missed this milestone in the BelCanto's history. Surprised the old curmudgeon wasn't murdered. He was murdered, wasn't he?" And the next day, when the BelCanto opened to prepare for the first of the gala concerts, Nathan was found dead from a blow to the back of the head on the main stage. That is the mystery. And I think you find all about this, Astrid, from your great niece, Celia. And she has come over, when she was visiting her mother to, again, give you the tickets and then tell you about the disastrous funeral and wake and them finding Nathan's body. at the theater, at the hall.
My goodness. Not an auspicious beginning for the gala, certainly.
No, absolutely not, Auntie. I mean, my mom needs help with the gala, and I'm glad to be around this time to give her a hand. So stupid. I said, it'll be nice to have a holiday without the drama. And this happened, and Ches is here. I mean, I don't know why he followed me back from New York. I mean, he's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, if you ever need to use me as an excuse or a shield.
You know what? I will. I mean, I'm
Or if you
hoping.
need me to tell him in those uncertain terms to back off and leave you alone.
I'm gonna kind of avoid him if I can. I mean, I'm gonna be busy helping Mom to get some stuff done. I mean, you know, she wants to make that display with the little the little village and stuff with all the new ornaments in the case. So I'll be helping her with that, even though they did ask me to sing at the gala. So I'm excited
Oh,
about that
I'm
too.
so happy for you. And
Yeah.
I'm so happy that we all get to hear you.
Yes. Well, I mean, you know, it's a nice thing to be invited back. You know, David's back in town.
Mm.
Yeah. But I mean, it's fine. I mean, like, you know, we used to hang out in the BelCanto days, you know? I mean, he's so busy managing his client, Kath. I don't know if you remember Kath.
No, I can't say that I do.
I mean, she, you know, she did like some of the featured shows and stuff. Like, you know, she was a soloist. And they brought her back as the featured act for the gala. She not like, you know, obviously not as big into opera as you are, of course. But she did make it big, I guess, like doing some pop covers in the major markets. So yeah, I mean, well, again, he's busy doing managing Keth, I guess. But it was so much fun when we did take skits. I mean, like David and I, like, I think we sounded awesome when we sang for those scenes. So
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
Auntie. I just wanted to let you know that was kind of like the weirdness that was going on. You know, so if
Thank
you,
you.
if you see any of you know, the old crew over at the BelCanto or something, you know, while you're enjoying, hopefully, yeah, just I think that's gonna be creating some weirdness over at the
Yeah.
hall. Okay.
Sure. Well, yes, I'm glad not to walk in thinking everything is fine and happy and normal.
Well,
And
can we really say it was ever fine and happy and normal to begin with?
sometimes it was fine and happy, even if it wasn't normal.
True. All right. And then she gives you a big fat hug and then she will leave. Yeah, so that is your mystery.
So of
They
course,
are.
the minute she's out the door, I'm calling the other Mavens like, we got a body.
Oh, and so let's resolve the cozy moves. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Like I just wanted to jump on in there because there was like a little bit of like, you know, big background. So back to Birdie and Diane. It was Birdie's cozy activity. So you guys can clear those conditions, like both of you can clear the conditions off of your sheet. And then Birdie, you will be the one that would be able to stumble on a clue. And how this works is, again, you would be able to create create a clue towards this mystery. And again, it could be anything you want that you can think like would put your finger on the scale. It just cannot conclusively solve the mystery. Okay. So you may want to put that in reserve, like, you know, put a TBD from Birdie, like in the clue list for the mystery, which I have not put into the mystery side. I apologize because I'm lame. Have yourself a merry little murder now. Okay. All right, so yeah, go ahead and plug that in. It's actually a complexity 7 for this particular mystery. Okay, there's plenty of people to talk to, and there's also a few places to check out. So the big one, of course, is the BelCanto Music Hall, Concert Hall, and then there's also, let's see, the Rest Your Head, which is the nearby boarding house for tourists, travelers, and guest performers of the BelCanto. Everybody stays here that are, guests to be able to perform, and also visitors as well. And then the Greaves Estate, because I think that not only from knowing Celia, of course, I think, Astrid, you do have a passing familiarity with the Greaveses, considering your jet setting life and such. So yeah, their place is a stately place slightly outside of town. So I mean, like, you're gonna have to do a little bit of traveling if you want to speak with any of them, or if they're not already at the concert hall for any reason. Okay, so I will also say, given this is Christmas, I've offered up a crown to use instead of the ones that are available to you. However, if you pick this crown, then every Maven has to do it. Regardless of you using it to cover your role, every Maven will have to do it. Okay? So again, it's called the Crown of the Ghost of Christmas Past. And I'll explain what that is if somebody picks it. And then this is a side little thing that I don't know whether it made it into the holiday bundle or will make it into the Nephews in Peril supplement when the Kickstarter is actually printed up. But because this is based in Hallmark movie tropes, I said, if you can help Celia determine who is right for her, each of you giving her a piece of sage advice, you will earn the Holly Stamp of Approval, which will be a genuine, meaningful Holly Stamp holiday keepsake for your cozy little place. Okay? So if we have time, we'll do it. If we don't worry about it. But that's what I offered up for this particular mystery. Okay? So how you guys would like to, spread out, split up? How you want to do this?
Are we gonna do the other cozy move?
Oh, yes, I apologize. Okay,
Nope,
so
you're
yes. Sorry. Effie and Astrid, you have cleared your conditions. And since we have done Astrid's cozy activity, let's have Astrid create a clue. Again, if you want to TBD that one until you hear more of like what's going on for the mystery, that's perfectly fine as well. Okay. And mind you, it will not replace anything that you find as you're going around investigating. This will be just where, oh, this would make sense that I found earlier, but I mean, like, we're just including it here now, like specifying it. Okay, so just want to make that clear. So now you already have 2 clues, but you just have to create them. Okay, so tell me what you guys want to do. And yes, Nathan's relation to the deceased person, the one who died, is that Nathan was the nephew who got killed. So that's very specific.
One might
Yeah,
say
I
he was a
realized after I
nephew in
typed it.
peril. So are we all at Astrid's place then, sort of discussing this over some like hot cider or something?
Yeah. If somebody else brought cookies, there are cookies. I don't bake.
I brought cookies.
I brought cookies too.
You all know what you're getting into with my cookies, though.
Yeah. They're very colorful.
Crunchy.
Textured.
Makes your poop sparkle.
Glitter is everywhere, so it doesn't go away. Great.
I know just
Astrid is
chocolate chip.
realizing to her chagrin that she has managed to bring glitter home from Effie.
Oh,
Never going away. It's
There
never
is
going
glitter
away.
in my space.
I currently work at an arts center. We know as soon as glitter gets in there, it will never come out. So
Mhm.
I was an arts counselor at a summer camp one year. The most exciting moment was when one of the barn cats jumped on the table, stuck his face in a pool of spilled glue, and immediately stuck his face straight into a pile of glitter.
Oh no.
All right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, Astrid, this
Yes.
sounds like a complicated fur ball, and I don't know the best way to untangle it. So, like, do you have any insight into, I don't know, where you think we should start tugging on it first, or where it might be dangerous to tug on it? Because I wouldn't want to harm any of your relationships with any of these folks.
Well, thank you. I'm more concerned about finding out the truth and making sure nothing further happens. Any awkwardness among living innocent people can be sorted out after that, I think. But the way I see it, there are two major angles to consider, and that's family and the BelCanto. It may be that Nathan was done in for purely family reasons and it happened at the BelCanto, or he was left at the BelCanto. We don't know if he was killed there or not, just that he was found there. It may just be a matter of coincidence or convenience that the building was involved. Or it could be because of something to do with the concert hall itself. So it seems to me the thing to do is come at it from both of those angles. Does that make sense?
I think so. I mean, since for whatever mysterious reason we still don't have a morgue here in Brindlewood Bay, does anyone know where the sheriff's keeping bodies this time of year?
Snowbank, probably.
out of character, I mean, like generally, the fish market is
fish
used as
markets.
the morgue because it's got ice.
I thought
I
it's.
was gonna say, just don't say the ice sculpture competition.
You get a block with a person in it. And you're like,
Yeah, I thought it was probably still the fish market.
It would be good to look into that, into the body itself, probably.
Yeah, I'd be happy to go down there and see if I can charm my way in.
Actually, the Greaves's family has taken the body and
Oh,
stored it away. I guess in their own private ice cellar. I mean, basically, you cannot examine the body, is what I'm saying.
oh.
we just won't question where it went
Exactly.
or how it got there. Just
Exactly.
not available.
Interesting.
Maybe somebody should go and talk to the family.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, I think I
Astrid-
should be one of the folks talking to the family since I
Absolutely. I was going to say, you have a
Appointed.
way with people. You should definitely go talk to the family if you can.
absolutely.
Can you get me into where the murder happened?
That I should think that wouldn't be a problem. But especially as busy as things are, there are going to be people coming in and out of the BelCanto. So getting into the building, I'm sure, is not going to be difficult. And his body was right on the stage. The difficulty is going to be making sure to get a good look at it before it's all tidied up.
Right, yeah. Like with the traffic, if it is as you describe, we should probably try to get on that sooner rather than later. So
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Okay.
And you want me to come with you to look at the details?
Sure.
And I'll go with Astrid. I'll keep my mouth shut if I can.
You're so charming, Birdie. Don't keep your mouth shut.
Well, I was a nurse.
Still my
So-
favorite line.
Yep. So basically we have Astrid, and Birdie going to the Greaves estate, yeah? And then we have Diane and Effie going to the BelCanto, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and take our break early, because then it's like I can like you know either add a little bit more details or figure out like where you guys specifically are in this mess of stuff. So we'll be back at the, you know what, like let's just call it like for me the hour mark. So a little bit longer than 10. Okay. So we'll just come back at the hour mark and I will see you back in a little bit. All right.
Thank you.
Yup. All right, so we're back. We're going to go ahead and start with, since you have to drive there. Well, yeah, you have to drive everywhere pretty much. But since it's a little bit further out of town, I'm going to start with Astrid and Birdie first. Okay. So you are headed to the Greaves estate to talk to the family. All right. It's
Yeah.
it's a family home. That's a stately place, slightly outside of town, giving the impression of old money. But they are not the original owners of that house and property. What do you see that, paint the scene, what do you see that indicates the Greaveses are not an ancestral estate? Oh, and this is paint the scene for everyone, regardless of whether you're there or not.
There's a monogram over the front door. You can tell that by the color of the plaque that it is a replacement, that it is covering something underneath.
Kind of similar to that. So the Greaves, their we'll say their crest, like their family crest, usually has lions on it. There is distinctly not lions on the property, but bears, symbols placed around.
Would you say it's the bears that are the original or the lions?
The bears are the original, and they haven't been swapped out for lions.
Got it.
I would say probably there is a sitting room when you walk into the home, or a room off to the side where they would bring guests or business people, that has wallpaper samples and paint chips and just a bunch of decorating ideas that are all kind of spewed about, and you can tell that they're trying to sort of bring the house up to date.
There's a scandalously cheap roofer's sign posted in front of the house. Scandalously cheap.
Is that the name of the company, or is it just scandalously cheap looking?
Now that you mention it, I think maybe it is the name of the company.
Yeah, it's Brett Scandalously and Dave Cheap. They decided to start a company together.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to call your attention to, in the character keeper, there is a section for Brindlewood Bay. So if anybody wants to put that little piece of information in the Brindlewood Bay tab, that would be fabulous.
It seems to be a weird tradition for all the Brindlewood Bay games that I'm in, that we make up really weird names for businesses. So like scandalously cheap roofing would fit right in there. And then like, you know, I've been framed, the framing shop.
Right.
And we had a seafood restaurant called Seafood Eat It.
Hey, well, I mean, in the Brindlewood Bay game, that one of the Brindlewood Bay games that I've actually gotten to play, I added the business Two Manny Cooks, run by Manfred and Manuel. Can't remember their last names, but my GM Bob had created like this whole backstory for how they met, and then like their little store. Oh, it was so nice. Yeah. So I missed the Mannies. Anyway. Okay. So all right. So you Astrid and Birdie, you're at the estate, and they have a no nonsense butler, and I would say that Astrid, you are probably of the same generation as, or you were a contemporary of Miles, who passed away. And you kind of know like his son, Winston, and Winston's sister, Teresa, who doesn't necessarily live here at this estate. She's moved away and she's her own woman, basically, but she is Nathan's mother. Okay. So who, like, when you go up to the door and you see this butler, who do you ask for?
Oh, well, I will ask for Winston, but I will also say, and if Teresa is here, I would like to extend my condolences to her, of course.
I will see who is available, ma'am. And he bows.
Thank you.
And then goes to look. He will actually show you into that particular sitting room that seems to have all the paint chips and updated materials in it. And yeah, the furniture in here is like, very ornate. A little bit too fancy. So, I mean, however you want to get comfortable, it's like it's not really that comfortable. But I'm
not a lounging person. I'm perched rather stiffly on whatever furniture is available anyway. So,
right. And
not stiffly, poised.
Poised, absolutely. Composed, for sure. So I think who wanders in is I think Winston will come in. Winston is the eldest son of Miles and primary heir. All right. He could be described as, well put out, but elitist and entitled. Most of his life has been spent preparing to take over from his father, but has trouble relating to non-family and common folk. So,
luckily, I've dealt with his kind so much.
right. He's actually adopted, and because like you know Miles, like before he passed away, and you notice that Winston has tried to adopt some of his father's mannerisms to the point of not really having a personality of his own. He tries to pull off his father's casual business look, but it doesn't work with his bulk. And then that's not an insult to anyone like, of stronger stature. It's more of a dude, dress yourself as yourself,
not somebody else.
Exactly. So, yeah. So he comes in and he, comes over to you, Astrid, and he's trying to hold himself like his father did. I don't know if you think it works or not, but I mean, like, he'll reach his hands out to you and say, "Oh, Astrid, thank you so much for coming."
Absolutely. I mean, this double tragedy is so hard on a family, and I just had to come over, and I mean, the loss of your father, terrible tragedy, but given his age, and I can say that being at that age myself, it was hardly the same kind of shock.
Yes. I mean, I feel like he had been sick for a while, but yeah, I mean, it's still a shock no matter what.
Of course.
My father was adored by all of us, to be sure. He always knew every singer and stagehand's name, which I've done I've taken pains to do so as well. And I've made sure to keep the business running, just as he always has. If it's not broken, why fix it, right?
Exactly. You're carrying on his legacy.
Exactly. I mean, just like stepping into my father's shoes as best as I can, for sure. And yeah. I think at this point, then his sister, Teresa, comes in. Again, she is Nathan's mother. Kind of a no-nonsense air about her. Very stoic. You might have heard that she has eked out a career for herself as a freelance producer. Yeah, she's created her own niche business. So she's got a very understated and professional look about her. Not pantsuits, but I mean, like, again, just like, something that can be businesslike and casual, but definitely professional. And she comes in, and then she also reaches a hand out to you and saying, "Oh, goodness, Astrid, thank you. Yes, we are all shocked."
Yes.
She's trying not to let anything show on her face.
Well, I had to come over and extend my condolences and see if there was anything I could do. I don't know that there is, but I wanted to let you know that I'm here and I am concerned about your family, and I want to let you know that you can call on me.
Oh, that's appreciated. I think my father had been waning for a while. He might have had more endurance if he involved Winston in some of the operations. Me too, for that matter. And she kind of like looks to the side a little bit, and she murmurs to herself whether or not she wanted you to hear. Why Nathan said such a daft thing, I'm not sure. And now he's dead.
Well, I can't imagine what it's like to be in your shoes. This double tragedy, and right on top of the gala,
Yes.
such a dreadfully busy time.
Yes. I've been working with the Holly Stamp Company and other companies involved in the charity auction. So this is not the most fortuitous time for this to have happened.
Of course.
And while you guys are talking, Birdie, what are you doing?
I have flopped down on what I assume is the most comfortable piece of furniture, and I'm probably just listening and chewing gum,
None
trying
of it
to
looks
keep my mouth.
comfortable.
None of it looks comfortable, but
Mm.
I'm doing my best. And I flopped for sure. I was not elegant about it.
Okay. Fair enough.
I am not calling attention to your presence. I am hoping that you can listen and observe without them paying too much attention to you. So I'm trying to make sure that their attention is on me, so you can pick up the things that they may not want you to pick up on.
Can you tell me where the ladies' room is?
Oh, yes. So Winston like kind of realizes that you're there, and he looks around Astrid and says, yes. You go out this door, down the hall, and it'll be 5 doors to your right.
That's more doors than I have in my whole house. All right, I'll be right back.
And then Winston will come back to you, Astrid, and talk with you further. Birdie, what are you doing?
I'm gonna snoop a little.
Okay.
Just a general snoop to start, sort of peeking in doorways to see if there's like an office that I can snoop around in, or a bedroom that might have a dresser or something.
Okay, let's go ahead and do the meddling move. In this case, I'm going to say you're kind of being sneaky about it. So I'm going to say meddling move with composure, please. Do you have anything? I'm always going to call attention to it because people tend to forget. I know I forgot when I play. Do you have anything that you want to use from your personal quarters that you'd like to mark to give you advantage on this roll?
From my cozy little place.
Correct. Sorry, personal quarters is from the between. I keep getting my games mixed up. I apologize. Okay.
I think that I would like to use my notions bag, my
Ooh.
my knitting bits and bobbins.
Sure. Pardon. Go ahead and check that off, and tell me how you're using it in this role.
I think what's going to happen is I'm going to come to a door that is locked, and I'm going to be able to jimmy it open with some of the implements inside the bag.
I approve. Go ahead and roll 3d6 and take the 2 highest.
And do I add any of my
With composure. Sorry.
with composure? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I rolled a 4, a 5, and a 4. So I'll take a 4 and a 5 plus 2 for my composure. 9, 10, 11. I think the math is right.
Yes. No problem there. Okay, great. So I think like as you're searching around, blah, blah, blah. I think, and again, I'm contextualizing it this now, but you can recontextualize this when you go over the theorized move. I think you find yourself in a big bedroom. I'm going to say that maybe Miles wasn't able to get up the stairs very easily in these last few weeks of his illness or waning. And so they made a bedroom, a big bedroom downstairs to make it easier for him to access. And so you're in this very big, opulent bedroom with a bed that has like controls like to adjust like, its shape, like whether to bring up the headboard, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And it has like nightstands with places for just anything really. I mean, like, like little bibs and bobs, as you say, and photographs and such. But what you find in your snooping, like maybe around the bed rather than on one of the nightstands, and you can go ahead and put this into the clue list, an expired bottle of heart medication, half full, the label with the name torn off. Expired bottle of heart medication, half full, the label with the name torn off. Okay, that is your clue here. Let's flip back to Astrid. Astrid, are you trying to, I don't know, apply a little presence to this and see if you can kind of weasel some information out of them while you're
Indeed.
talking?
Specifically, I'm trying to weasel out whether they have any suspicions of who Nathan might have had friction with.
Mm,
Who could have possibly wanted to do this? I'm not necessarily going to buy their theories whole cloth, especially since there's a chance either one of them might have done it. But I want to hear what they have to say about Nathan, and I'm couching it in a horrified, gossipy, well, what did the police say? Do you have any idea how this could possibly happen? I'm going at it from that angle.
go ahead and give me a roll here. Meddling move with presence. And
I
then
have
we'll
lost the dice roller.
Oh no. Does somebody have it handy? Forgot to plug it in there. Ooh.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
So, whoops, I did. There we go. And wait, that is not what I wanted to do. Come on. Sorry, the dice roller is not doing. There we go. Woohoo!
Okay. What clue it is? All right, great. I think as you're discussing, like, what happened to Nathan, I think they tell you that there was a missing plaque in the honors display at the concert hall. That is your clue for this, because they're thinking that there was no discernible weapon or any kind of, like what could have done it, like, nothing heavy nearby, but that was noticed in the investigation at the concert hall. A missing plaque in the honors display. Okay, so there's your clue. Let's go ahead and get to Diane and Effie. You guys are at the hall itself. I think you see all of the things that you had talked about. The billboards are out for the music schedule. There is the spread of kind of like hors d'oeuvres. It's like kind of like samplings and stuff of like, this is the sneak preview for the luncheon that's going to happen, and or this is going to be what's the desserts that are going to be displayed at the gala dinner tonight. And since you guys have tickets to everything because of Celia, you can be one of those samplers, of course. I think
Sneak a couple for Birdie.
there you go. And then I think yeah, Diane, I think you see that there's like, some quite beautiful people here already. They've been volunteering. There may be like, some board members, maybe there's some minor celebrities and such. I think frittering off in the farther off of the open hall, the open foyer of this place, you see like from this distance, she's a woman that seems to be wearing what is like hipster goth. She's got like platform boots on. She's got like weird handkerchief skirts and lace, and she's got like a top that would be on a peasant barmaid, but I mean like without the bustier. And she's talking to a young man in a suit who's trailing behind her, and then she's going into the concert hall itself through the double doors. And then you see like other people setting up the displays, and then you do catch I think if you've been to this hall before, I think you would know like Sam Cass, who's like the managing director at the BelCanto. He's usually around, like, shaking hands and stuff like that, glad handing people like for the openings of shows and particular events, and especially for the gala. Okay, so the Great Holiday Gala, he's definitely making his rounds and like just making sure everything's going as it goes. Let me just see, BelCanto. I have to do a paint the scene here. Yes, so the BelCanto Concert Hall. Backstage, practice and rehearsal studios, main stage, ballroom, auction community room. The concert hall is indeed a grand space, hosting numerous concerts, shows, and performances over its long history. Paint the scene. Although it has experienced renovations and improvements, what details have been kept, showing its humble beginnings? Again, it's celebrating its 50th anniversary. And again, question for everyone.
I think there's like a a wall where by tradition performers started to like carve their initials or their names into it as they perform there, and in sharp contrast to like all of the other walls, this one appears to never have been painted.
I'm gonna say that the ceiling has those like really really nice acoustic style rafters, and the original like beams are there. And so you can see like some of the wood is like at one point they'd maybe had some sort of damage, so you can see where it was repaired but not replaced, maybe from like a winter storm where there's too much snow and it cracked a few of the beams.
I'm going to say that if you pay attention, you can see off to the side, sort of away from everything else, is the old service elevator. And it's about this wide. And it's got one of those doors, the elevator doors that extend and release. You know what I'm talking about? Like the shop doors that come down. And it is just, you can tell nobody's used it in ages. There's no light on. There's actually a sign on the call button that says, please do not use the elevator. And it goes to the basement, not up. It goes down.
One panel of the stage curtains is a slightly different shade of deep red. It's kind of faded. It's part of the original stage curtains, and it has become a good luck tradition for performers to touch it on their way onto the stage. So that one panel has been kept.
Oh, I love this place already. Oh my gosh. I think as you two pass these details, or at least the outer area details, and this is not a capital C clue, this is just for funsies because I want somebody to notice it. One of you looks at that panel wall that has all the carved initials. I think for some reason it's like at your eye level. Who do you think would be the nosy one to look at the carving wall?
I think Diane might be more likely. Feeling like that's like paintings are on walls, photography is usually up on the walls. I feel like her eyes would be naturally drawn to it more. Correct me if I'm wrong, Diane.
Works for me.
Okay. I think you notice at eye level, your eye level, for some weird reason, you see nestled amongst all of these initials and such, you see a carved heart. And inside the heart is the initials DC plus CD. And file that away for something. Okay. All right. So you do spot Sam, of course, like, doing his thing as the managing director. Now, Sam is a unique individual. He looks like he has a belly like a jolly bowl full of jelly. He has a white beard. And he has been around and seen it all at the BelCanto for many, many years. But he takes his responsibilities seriously. He only relaxes when around his friends with mulled wine. And he has a tendency to flirt with you all. He knows about your book club, and he always loves to see you guys come around, and he doesn't mind doing a little bit of winking and flirting. So he's in the midst of talking with a couple of the workmen now, trying to work on the display. Do you go over and speak with him? Or do you want to go snooping?
I think that Diane is going to lean over to Effie and say, hey, do you want to go maybe distract Sam, and I'll go see if I can't check out where the murder happened?
Sure. Yeah, I can get his attention, and I'll like straighten up my Christmas sweater, like make sure it's all like perfect. I'm gonna walk over to the table of all the foods. I'm gonna grab a plate full of like some of the samplings. because food is, food is way to a man's heart, go walking or jing, 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 jingling the whole way. And just be like, Sam, I hope I'm not interrupting, but I haven't seen you eating anything yet. Have you been eating?
And he turns to you, and like you just see that wonderful, like, cheery face. He's kind of got like, like round, very round cheeks above his like bushy white beard, and they're kind of like flushed a little bit. So you see like a little pink blush, and he'll just look at you with a smile, big smile on his face, and say, Effie, how are you? It's good seeing you. Oh, is this for me? I mean, like, if you wanted, please, please, please enjoy.
So I'll pull off like one of the little crackers with, maybe like it's got some cheese and I don't know, something fancy on it. I don't know what it is. And kind of pop into my mouth as I'm offering the rest of the plate to him. No, please, what are you setting up over here?
Oh, it's like, and then he will show you, and I think you'll be finding this one a very big interest. This is the big display case that it's going to be under glass or melamine or whatever the heck that clear material is. And it is essentially a large table that looks like it has a miniature copy of the town square with the BelCanto of Brindlewood Bay. So it's a little model, and like you can see the little people, you can see the little like businesses and houses and all this kind of stuff with the trees and what have you. And what it's missing, like you see the little people, like you see the foliage and whatever, blah blah blah. And then he turns to you and actually says, it's like, we seem to be missing some vehicles. I mean, this looks kind of silly. I mean, like, we're not just like a walking village or anything like this. I mean, like, kind of need something, I don't know, to show that there's life here in Brindlewood Bay for the holidays. I mean, I don't know, it looks like it needs a like truck here or a car. You do cars, right? You do like little models or something?
Okay, so I've got, the cracker with stuff. I'm like brushing the car. I'm like, yeah. If you got a moment, we could pop over to my place. I've got a whole selection of cars you could pick from. I've got ones that light up. I've got a Christmas one with Christmas trees. I'm gonna just start rambling off like all the cars. And while I'm gonna kind of lean over to Diane, like, just like lean back just enough so I can get like an eyesight on her, just see if she's like starting to go off to do whatever she needed to do.
Gotcha. Okay. But before I turn it over to Diane, I'm going to say that he looks at you, beams at you, Effie, and says, why, Effie, are you inviting me over for a little bit of grub and some conversation?
Well, as long as you don't mind glitter on your cookies.
Well, never been offered such a culinary delight before, but if you got some mulled wine, we could talk it over.
I might have some in the fridge. Is that where you keep mulled wine? I don't actually drink mulled wine. No idea.
So cutting over to Diane. And then Diane, you kind of make your way over to the concert hall, and I think you pass the carved initial wall again, and then you're just kind of like looking at that heart thing. And anyway, you go into the concert hall, and there's actually, you can sort of peek in, and you can see that there's some cleanup going on, but not much, because I mean, again, it's like, okay, well, here's the body. This was kind of where it's found, but then the deputies have made their way onto the stage, but then they look like they're about ready to leave because it's like they've taken care of the body and just kind of trying to investigate what they can investigate so the stagehands can get their business done. And give me a second. Okay. And so are you totally in the concert hall at the moment, or are you kind of just peeking in at, like, right now?
I think initially wanted to peek in just to see what the situation was. So there's still cops here.
They
that
look
right?
like they're now going to the back, like they're done with what they're doing, and like now the stage hands are starting to come onto the stage and like starting to clear, and then they have to start putting up chairs and such, because I think that one of the first concerts is like a choir concert, so, or like if not the chairs onto the stage, it's like the bleachers. I forget what they call them for the choir
Risers.
stand. Risers, thank you. Where the risers where the choir will stand later.
Cops, right?
Cops.
Yeah, so I think that I think that Diane is going to like reach into one of her pockets on her, like her multi-pocketed photographer's vest, right?
Mhm.
And she is going to pull out a a journalist's badge, right? And
Okay.
then she's gonna
Sure.
put it over her neck, and she's gonna just stand straight up and just stride right in like she belongs there.
Okay, great. So then are you using your move, right? You're
I
using your
am my
Remington
Remington
steel?
steel move.
Okay, go ahead and read that off. Like what's
Sure.
involved?
It says you're very talented at passing yourself off as someone you are not. If there's a piece of identification or disguise that would help you with your ruse, you have it. Say what it is and add it to your cozy little place.
Go ahead and add that badge to your cozy little place so you have it for later. And then yeah, so you stride up and then you pull have your badge on. It's like I'm sure you pull out like a little notebook and pen and such and so forth. And not only are there stage hands around, but you see, well, at least from the back, you see what looks like a tall, well-dressed woman in a matching pantsuit. She's got like done auburn hair, like it's not like just like loose and casual. I mean, like we're talking like done. Okay. That sucker won't move for a little bit, like, even if there's a high breeze. And then she's just kind of like arms akimbo, like kind of watching the stage hands do their thing. And if you kind of make your way around to kind of get a little look-see at her face, you might recognize from some of the boards outside in talking about, well, the board and the board of the BelCanto.
Oh, okay.
She is Rosella Swindon. She is the board president for this place, for the BelCanto.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, okay. So I think that Diane has her camera with her, of course.
Yes.
And I think that she's going to just sort of stride up like she owns the place.
Mhm.
And she's going to come to like some of the first, of the cleaning crew or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, excuse me. Can you please step aside? I'm Petra Jenkins with the Brindlewood Bay Gazette. And we're doing some reportage on this horrible incident that happened. And my editor forgot to send me down for some photos. So I'm just taking up some follow-up shots and got to take them back to the office."
Rosella strides over to you very determinedly and say, "What's this about? I'm Rosella Swindon. I am the board president of the BelCanto. I'm very protective of the brand identity for this place. What are you doing here?"
I'm here to take some photographs for the Brindlewood Bay Gazette.
I see. I mean, normally, well, you're not out to be doing one of those smear pieces, are you?
Of course not. In fact, if you have a statement you'd like to give, I'd be happy to take it on behalf of George, the guy who's writing the piece, and we could certainly add it to the piece before it goes to press.
Oh, I see.
Did you speak with George earlier?
No, I have not.
Just like him not to talk to the most important people on the scene. I'm surprised they haven't fired him yet.
Interesting. So go ahead and roll me meddling move with presence.
Okay.
Presence. And I'm going to give you advantage because of your move, and you're using your props.
My badge.
Yeah. You're using your props. So go ahead and advantage with
Every time she says her name, she like waves it in front of her face really fast because it doesn't actually have, you know, her picture on it or anything, right?
nice. Got it.
Okay.
It says press on it. And
Right.
hold on.
Like
Sorry.
magic markers.
Right. So 3d6. Take the two highest plus
0
say?
for me.
Okay.
I have no presence, clearly.
Okay. Right.
So that would be an 8.
Okay. 8. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. So got that roll. Let me go back to Effie.
Mhm.
So Effie, you are, Sam is like, engaged with you, and he's like talking about like, the things that they're planning on doing on this board, needs the cars. Okay, great. And maybe you've just made up a little date. Interesting.
Get him out of here. Yeah.
At your place. Interesting. Anyway, Hazua, sorry. And he's telling you that the show must go on, right? I mean, and all that. I mean, oh, and then he calls out to like some of the stagehands that look like they're going into the concert hall. Trent, make sure that the lighting director has the list of cues for Tuesday's performance. And oh, Sarah, make sure all of the volunteers have their break scheduled during the week. We don't want to make sure that they're going to be, too tired out or burned out. Okay. And then he turns to you and he says, it all works out in the end, doesn't it?
So yes, it does. And I will set the plate on one of the, like a table where it would be picked up or whatever, and kind of like hook my arm like through his and like that, that like cozy little, and be like, so what kind of cars do we want? And just kind of like start with that. But then eventually I will lead into how we want to, like, how does he think that what's happened, without like naming it specifically, is going to like impact the shows, or has it changed the mood with like the stage hands and the people kind of behind the scenes.
Okay, go ahead and roll me. Yeah, hold on a second. You've got him engaged because of the car conversation. I almost want to say that I want to give you advantage for this because, you are trying to give him a little bit more of a engagement. Yeah, what the hell? It's my game. 3d6. Take the two highest plus your presence, please.
I think it's a 0, so double check. Presence 0. Okay, cool. So it's a 7 total. I rolled 2 2s and a 5.
Okay. Well, good thing we had advantage. All right, wonderful. Okay. I'm gonna go come back to Diane. All right. And then you're taking her picture and then like engaging her by, flattering the hell out of her, which she enjoys. Okay, so that's awesome. Let me see. I think this is always the problem because like when I look at the list of clues, it's like what makes the most dang sense. Yeah, okay. So I think Rosella feels very comfortable talking to you and then being able to keep a patter up. She's talking about like, keeping up the brand and the identity for the BelCanto because it's such a mainstay of Brindlewood Bay, and that it is, let's see. Hold on. Here we go. BelCanto has always been a place of splendor and artistic community, a beacon of stellar performance in our tourist town. And so I just want to make sure that this is not a smear piece. This is about keeping up the grandeur of the hall and concentrating more on the 50th anniversary and not about any of the sordid affairs that are involved with this place. And you can quote me on that.
Oh, I will. And I completely understand your concerns. It is not to anyone's best interest for the BelCanto to have any negative press. I mean, it's certainly been a huge draw for people to Brindlewood Bay, and is very generous with its, with the taxes it provides and so forth, right? Like, there is no world in which we would want to smear a institution of this magnitude.
Absolutely. I mean, especially when we are backed by the Holly Stamp Card Company. They've been with us for many, many years. I mean, even the grandson of the Hollies is here. He's sort of helping with this, being the marketing representative and all. I mean, I don't know if you've seen Howard yet, but Howard is around. He is overseeing the displays as well as the auctions, the charity auctions for the collectibles, which I have to say, and then this is where she goes into like a little bit of a conspiratorial whisper to you. And she talks about finding, and this is a capital C clue,
Mhm.
a broken Holly Stamp limited edition collectible. And it wasn't broken in transit. It was found broken after the body was found. A broken Holly Stamp limited edition collectible is your clue.
Okay, so like, Diane all this time has been sort of talking talking with her and making photographs and stuff like that, and she like audibly gasps and drops her camera, like on the cord around her neck, and puts her hands to her mouth and says, "A broken Holly Stamp limited edition collectible? I can't imagine. You must be so upset."
I'm more upset for Howard's sake. I mean, he considers his job very, very seriously. And although he will not play on his connection to the Holly family, I don't know why not. I mean, he at least is responsible. He would not have allowed that to happen. I think it was deliberate. That you may not quote me on. This is just a little bit of information.
That can be our secret, of course.
Absolutely.
But why do you think somebody would want to do that deliberately? Do you think someone has it out for Howard? Do you think someone wants to see this endeavor fail?
We've had this gala for many, many years now. I don't understand why anybody would want to do this. I mean, I can't even imagine why it would have anything to do with the BelCanto. I think maybe somebody's just targeting the company, maybe. I have no idea. But yes, everything's usually packed very well and set out very carefully when this gala has its display. So I'm not sure exactly if this has anything to do with Nathan Horn, but regardless.
Say, I don't suppose you would just, between two friends, let me take a look and see where the collectibles are stored. Maybe an extra eye there could help shed some light on the subject.
I'm not going to take responsibility for that. What I'm going to do, though, is I will introduce you to Howard, and maybe your colleague will be able to take a statement from him a little bit more official, mind you. But I mean, if Howard isn't running around somewhere trying to set more things up, more advertising, and she kind of like waves her hand, and you can see like in the like not the rafters, but like off to the side. I mean, not only do you see like the usual decorations for the holiday, but there's like, surreptitious banners and flags for the Holly Stamp Card Company all over the place. And about this gala, sponsoring the gala. And yeah, so she will actually take you and introduce you to Howard. Okay. And that'll be your complication. It's like, you can't quite tear yourself away because she's going to be dragging you along to introduce you to somebody else. And then let's go back to Effie. Effie, you got a 7.
Yep.
Talking with
So,
Yeah.
quick question.
Mhm.
How the crowns work? If I take a crown, it bumps it to just like a success, right? Without a complication.
Correct. So basically 7 to 9 is you bump that up to the next tier, which is 10 plus. Okay. So
Okay.
you want to bump it up to 10 plus. Now, do you want to use one of your crowns, Void or Queen, or do you want to use the crown of the Ghost of Christmas Past?
Oh, I forgot that. How does that work? What does it mean?
Okay,
Remind
so
me. Sorry.
like I'm using kind of like the between rules on this one, because I mean, like the crown of the Ghost of Christmas Past, like it acts like a threat mask would be in the between. If you pull on it, then everybody's got to do it, even though it only applies to your role. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
I don't think it's that dire. I just want to bump to the next tier so I don't get stuck in a weird position with Santa. I mean Sam.
Oh.
Samta.
Okay, that's fine. So which crown would you like to mark? And you don't have to do it just yet. You can wait until later.
Okay. I'll do. Sorry, I'm double checking how these work.
Yeah.
I see somebody's highlighting something. I think I'll do that one. Okay. So I did the Crown of the Queen, a
Okay.
flashback to a memory, fondest
Okay.
memory.
Great. All right. So like, again, remember that. So this way you'll do it a little bit later, and we will bump up your roll to 10 plus. So you succeed. And this is you talking with Sam, correct?
Yeah, I figure
Okay.
as we're kind of walking back to
Mhm.
my place to pick out cars and models.
Okay. Now, are you specifically asking about Nathan's death, like Nathan's murder?
Yeah, I would start it, kind of like I said, talking about like the cars and what kind of vehicles are you thinking,
Mhm.
kind of pitching. I have one like this, I have one like that, blah blah blah. And then maybe as we get a little bit closer, kind of segue into just the general mood and spirit of the holidays, and then kind of lead up to, yeah, it's a real shame about, and I'll kind of like quiet out the Nathan incident, and I hope it hasn't affected your crew too much, and it's not, impacting things. Do you know any way, like, do you know who found him, or do you know, I don't know how many, I'm assuming you have details about it.
Well, you're arm in arm with him, and he'll take his other hand and he'll pat your hand that's wrapped in his, and he'll like, start to tell you like, like the stage hands had found him, like as they were getting ready to, set up for the first of the concerts for that particular afternoon and evening. And it was such a shock and all this kind of stuff. And then he'll mention this, which is capital C clue: a scratched flip phone with only 2 contacts programmed: Dad and Mom. and he'll say, it doesn't belong to any one of my crew. No, nobody uses a flip phone these days. I mean, everybody has those smartphones that they stick in their pocket and play games on, or, check their email while they're even while they're working. It's amazing. But yes, this was found, I think, nearby. And I can only assume that it came from, poor Nathan.
It is very odd. It's a very strange thing to find in this day and age.
Absolutely.
Pull out my cricket phone, be like, I know only certain demographics use the flip phones. It's got the big buttons on it, but I at least have more than 2 contacts in mine. Flip it shut, stuff it back in my pocket.
I mean, he'll tell you like specifically, it's like it's a regular buttoned flip phone. Like it's not like what would be considered the old lady phone because of like large
it's like
buttons
a
or anything.
razor.
Yeah, no. It's like one of the, and it's scratched, and so it's like well used. Let's put it that way. Okay. So
But
that's
only
your
2 contacts.
Yes, exactly. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and take our next break. But before we do, I just want to call attention to the fact that you should have 6 clues now. That's the 4 that I've given you so far in your investigations. And then we still have 2 clues, one to be determined from Birdie and another one to be determined from Astrid. So I don't know if you guys want to try to figure something out and then let me know what you found to add to said list. Okay. And then, like I said, your complexity is 7, but you don't have to necessarily stop at just the 7 clues. If you want to give yourselves a little bit leg up, you could always do more for a plus, but you don't have to, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, we're going to take let's take a 5-minute break this time. Okay. So that'll be no, I can't do this. 2 past.
Be a couple minutes later.
Couple minutes later, whatever. I mean, when we're all here, we're all here. All right. So see you in a few minutes. All right.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So let's see. So we've resolved, except for the fact that we know that Rosella has taken Diane to take pictures and talk to Howard. Okay. Let me go back before we go back to that particular part, and then with Sam. Let's go back to Astrid and Birdie over at Greaves's estate. So Astrid, like you're talking with them and such. Did you want to make your way to the little girl's room yourself, or did you want to talk with them further?
Let's see. I think I would like to keep talking to them. And the clue that I had banked earlier, so to speak, I was thinking might be a draft of a program for one part of the gala with a key name omitted. So whether that's a performer not on the schedule, or a member of the board that got left off, or whatever, but there is a key name that is not on this version of the program.
Go ahead and plug that in, and for your clue, and then you can contextualize that, like I said, a little bit more specifically to really hook it into the rest of the clues when you guys do the theorized move. Cool. All right. Birdie, do you have one that you'd like to say you found?
I have no idea what kind of clue to find.
Okay. Well, if you'd like, I mean, I can pull from the list of clues. There's more than enough clues in my list to be able to put something in there.
I request a clue from your stockpile, please.
Perfect. All right. So, and the clue that you find now, you're still kind of rummaging around in Miles's room, right? I mean, like, we had you left there.
Mhm.
Okay. So I think, like, when you found the pill bottle, I think it's been cleaned. The room has been cleared and cleaned, and then the bed made and such. So you don't get any residual sense of like, from Miles's passing, or like, being here in this room, I guess, like, in his sick bed. But when you bend down or crouch to get the pill bottle, I think you see underneath the bed, and you see what looks like papers. And when you look underneath the bed, nosy that you are, you see that it's sheet music. The sheet music is "I'll Be Home for Christmas," with the last page missing. And it's distinct. I mean, people are musical around this place. They wouldn't just toss the last page of this. Again, it's very distinct because like the word from the second to last page is that hyphen to show that it leads into the next page. That's how you know that that last page is missing.
Suspicious.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Hold on. Put this highlight so I know what I'm looking at. Okay. That's Birdie. And then that is Astrid that found the gala program. I'm going to say that, like, as you're talking with them and they're kind of moving around the space, and like maybe, you're kind of like moving with them. I think you see this draft that one of them's composing, and you kind of see that one of the names is missing. Or crossed off, like redacted somehow.
Right.
Okay. All right, let's flip over to the concert hall. And I think, just so you know, Diane, when you're going off with Rosella, I think you also see some of the performers, like, coming onto the stage, or backstage. Like, there are people that are starting to go into the practice rooms that are back there. I mean, it's a big space. Again, practice rooms, rehearsal rooms, little classrooms and such, and then all these things that are available in the backstage. And you see Celia. So Celia's around here, like, she's getting ready to I guess practice with the choir, or set up for the choir. You don't know, but she's back there as well. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. I think in one of the community rooms backstage at the BelCanto, I think she brings you to see Howard, who is and you can see it on his shirt. He does have a badge that is like clearly marked his picture, his name on it, with Holly Stamp Company like right underneath. And he is serious, kind of aloof, as he's digging in his boxes for more of these ornaments that he's gently and delicately like unwrapping from all the bubble wrap and stuff. And yeah, he's not known, but I mean, he is the representative for the Holly Stamp Company. And yeah, what's definitely not well known is that he is the grandson of the Holly Stamp founders. All right. And he's actually been friends with the Greaves family for years, because he knows their daughter. He knows Winston's daughter, Alexandra, whom Astrid and Birdie have not seen. And he just keeps on kind of pushing his steel-rimmed glasses further up his nose as he's trying to dig through the boxes. Rosella introduces you, and he kind of like looks up, but he's still kind of like his eyes stray to the box, like he wants to be doing something while he's like, doing small talk and such.
I think
Do
Diana's gonna like gasp immediately when she walks in and sees this, and she's like, oh, "I have never been in the presence of such beauty."
and he gasps as well, but not as like excitedly, because he's not that kind of person. But he says, in conjunction with the 50th anniversary, Holly Stamp has provided the most unique keepsake ornaments for this year's charity auction. I mean, limited edition, of course, and bound to be treasured for years. Pushes his glasses back up on his nose.
This is the most exciting thing since the rising of Christ.
Well, I mean, and he starts to smile a little about that. I mean, I don't know, we weren't there, but this is, I mean, this has always been a wonderful event, and we get to show off some of these wonderful exhibits. Some of these are not for sale, of course, and they'll be
Of course.
auctioned for charity. Do you have a Holly Stamp ornament or keepsake?
Of course I do. Doesn't everyone? I mean, if
We
they
hope
don't, they
they do.
should, right?
Yes, absolutely. And then Rosella will turn to him and say, yes, this is Petra, I think you said your name was.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, she's
With the
taking
Brindlewood Bay
pictures.
Gazette.
Yes, taking pictures. I guess your colleague George didn't show up yet. Well, at any rate, Howard, if you can tell Petra, or just maybe give her a little sneak peek for photos for use for later, that would be great, I'm sure, for your marketing. And
I could certainly take photos and we could put them on embargo until you were ready to reveal to the world these beautiful ornaments. But then we would have them right when you were ready to reveal them.
that would be wonderful. Of course, you cannot release any of these photos until, well, we can view them officially by those that will be participating in the auction.
Of course.
Okay.
Ms. Swindon told me about a tragedy that occurred here. I mean, besides the murder, of course. You know, a real tragedy.
Tragedy.
One of the ornaments was broken?
Yes. And then he starts going off about, I mean, it does not happen. I mean, everything is well packed in the factory, in the workshop before it leaves. And nothing, I mean, gets excited about this, that gets broken on my watch. But this happened to be. And he's like, almost starting to reach his hair as if he wants to kind of like pull it out, but he just proceeds to push his glasses further up his nose.
I don't want to suggest anything untoward, but have you considered sabotage?
Roll me 2d6 with, hold on, let me see. Yeah, it's still presence. Unless you want to do somehow a kind of advantage or something like that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use another cozy little place item. So I think that as she's saying this, she's like, she's going to take off her glasses and she's going to take her polishing cloth and she's going to start cleaning one. She's going to say, sabotage.
I'll take it. Sure. Mark it off. And then go ahead and roll with 3d6. Take the two highest plus your, what the hell I said, presence.
Plus a big 0. Here
Sorry.
we go. 13. Wait, it's a 12. There's 2 6s and a 1.
Holy crap. Okay. Another void
that
clue.
plus 0.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a void clue I do want to give here because I think it's so damn appropriate. So I'm going to give that to you first before I give you the actual clue because this is too damn cute. All right. So the void clue is this. As he's talking, he's getting excited and you're leaning in and talking about sabotage and he's thinking about it and all this kind of stuff. And he's actually commiserating with you pretty damn well. And I think you're not even paying attention to actually taking his picture. As I think one of the ornaments that he was unwrapping somehow, even in his aloof excitement, gets knocked off the table. But when this drops on the floor, okay, so picture that this is it's supposed to be like a robin or something innocuous, like, for the holiday, right? I mean, like it's very ornately done. It looks kind of realistic, except for the fact it's not like feathered, but it looks like it could be, right? But when this drops on the floor and you both have an audible gasp, like, what pops out of this thing is that from its back, hidden tentacles pop out of this robin and extra eyes appear on its head. I mean, like how like for those little mechanical toys, it's like something like kind of pops out from like hidden panels and such. That's what has happened to this ornament, the keepsake.
So
This
are
is
they
your void
like
clue.
fleshy things, or are they also ornament things? Like, is it ornaments of,
Things.
okay,
Yeah.
it's ornament things. Okay.
Yeah, but like I mean, like, where you had the original 2 robin eyes, it's like maybe there's like, a couple more like around the front of the head or on the top of the head, and then the tentacles pop out underneath where the wings are on this thing. What do you think when you see this?
I think that like oh wow, I think Diane's gonna like let out a meep. She's gonna like just hop and meep! and then she's gonna kind of tilt her head and look closer, and she's like, is it supposed to do that?
Sorry, I have to pop this in because this is like too damn good.
I thought she initially meant that they were like fleshy, all like actual fleshy tentacles coming out, and I was like, what is going on? This is also funny though. I want this to be like a conspiracy to have ornaments in every house that are right. Secret tributes to chaotic evil gods.
Okay, so that's one void clue down. Now your real clue. Sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. I wouldn't have waited on that one either.
Just like so excited. I'm like, yes. And I think, okay, so you're talking, and then he's going to tell you about an argument he overheard, and this is the capital C clue, about a buyout offer. That's about as specific as it gets, but again, it's an overheard argument about a buyout offer. That is the clue that you get for your high number. Goodness. And then Effie, you have, I'm assuming, I mean, well, one, I mean, like, do you live nearby, or is this like, are we talking like speeding forward and like, like you're have invited Sam over?
I mean, it's probably maybe like a 15 to 20-minute walk at most.
Oh, okay.
We're not like speed walking, because I don't think Sam could keep up with me.
Right.
But we're also not like taking our sweet time. We're just walking over there, and as we get there, I'll open the door and invite him in. Make sure to tell him to knock the mud off his shoes before entering. I feel like my place, when I leave, I do leave at least half of the Christmas lights plugged in and turned on. So it's like it's pretty well lit before I even turn on the rest.
The rest. Oh. You know what? I'm just going to add another void clue because I know I had owed you one.
Oh yeah.
From earlier. So I think when you turn on your lights in your house.
No, you owed Astrid, right?
Oh, okay. I knew I owed somebody. So,
I don't want to steal her clues.
okay. Well, I mean, like void clues belong to everybody, so it's not
Yeah.
like it goes into the what have you.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Go ahead and
Okay.
use it as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
Okay. I think I feel like I owe you guys another void clue from last time too. So I mean, I'm happy to give the people over at Greaves like a void clue as well. So anyway,
I think our void clue from last time was the hooded people at the
yes,
very end of the session, right?
yes, but you guys also got a 12 because you used the gold crowns.
Oh goodness.
Mystery.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I owe you guys. Okay, so brain. Sorry. Okay, void clue. I think when you turn on the lights, the full like all the lights, like, in addition to the ones that you already had on, I think you find by your window, Effie, something that you don't have, or at least you don't remember having. It's a snow globe. It's got snow in it. And it shows what looks like a little tiny miniature of your already miniature houses. One of the houses over in your village. It's something that's like so cute, so quaint. It could be one of the older homes that's located in Brindlewood Bay. But you don't remember having this before.
Hmm.
Do you take a look at it?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna take a look at it. If it stands out, I'm
Mhm.
assuming there's something about it, just not that it's not something I had before, but there's something, maybe where it's at, it's like a different color than, like all the houses
Mhm.
in that little area are like all like pastels, and this is like
Sure.
darker, or
Yes.
it definitely stands out. So I'm like, even if it was mine, it's like, well, why is it here? It shouldn't be here. It goes with the, the other colored things of the same. So I'd probably go over and pick it up and kind of turn it over, trying to pull up my memory of like, where did this come from?
As you shake it, you can see the scene goes dark. It's almost like there's ink inside, but there's not. It's not ink. The scene goes dark and it's like swirling like gas, but that can't be. That's water, right? Every snow globe has water. No, it looks like actual snow inside. The scene behind this house and around this house goes dark. And when it starts to settle, you see what looks like the shadow of a many-limbed creature encroaching upon this house. That is your void clue.
Yeah, not a fan of this one. Gonna slide it to the back of one of my tables, and then maybe put
And
like used to be like a tissue box that I reconstructed into a house so the bombs actually open, and just kind of over top of it.
Sam is behind you, kind of looking around, and he says, "Everything okay?"
Oh yeah, that's just an old old relic that it seems to have gotten put out by mistake, and rather than put it away, I'll just kind of cover it up until I get a chance to put it back in its proper place.
Okay, all right. So, and then you talk a little further and all this kind of stuff. Are you angling for a clue at this point, or you think you're excuse me, just kind of like being in companionable discussion about what of your cars you are going to add to this display over at the hall?
Yeah, very excited about that. I think at this point be more companionable, discussing like the cars and the things like that. And then maybe on the walk back is when I
Mhm.
might try to pull a little bit more information, after he's had some mulled wine, and after he's had, a couple glitter cookies, he's feeling a little sparkly.
Yeah, he
it
is
wouldn't be
feeling a
till the
little
way back.
sparkly. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just gonna give you so the actual clue that he tells you about is along with the flip phone. He remarks upon something odd that was found nearby on the stage that they had not pocketed, but like how they bagged, like, evidence, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, he talks about how they found an amateur Christmas songbook with a variety of holiday related songs. But if you when they looked at the table of contents, because they noticed that there was like some frayed page, torn out pages, it looks like Baby It's Cold Outside was torn out of this songbook.
Hmm.
And when I say amateur, it's like, not easy piano chords, but I mean, it's like it was kind of like home printed, like rather than an actual like publisher's print of this collection. Pardon. But yeah,
Okay, I probably misspelled that, but
yeah, that's fine.
immature. Is that how you spell immature?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
You're good. Okay.
It's been a long
All
week.
right. Yeah,
Words
no.
are hard, guys.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So you have 8 clues. Astrid, and before we close this out, Astrid, Birdie, do you have anything else that you want to do over at the Greaves estate, like nosy Parkers?
Let's see. If Alexandra is around, I would like to speak to her.
I think if you make your way, like, like you have to go to the little girl's room, after
Mhm.
like talking with them and having condolences. I think you will wander past one of the rooms, which would be into like one of the not a lounge. What the hell would rich people call it? I forget.
Salon.
No, she wouldn't be a
Might be a-
salon.
Might be a library, might be a
Study.
Daddy.
study.
Let's call it the
Smoking
entertainment
room.
room. Okay. You go, you you hear like the sounds of music coming from a room like off to the side, like, one of those many rooms that's on the way to the bathroom. And, you push the door open and you see this place. It is freaking full of stuffed leather chairs and like a big TV, like, on one wall, and then an entertainment center that has a library's worth of DVDs, CDs, whatever. I mean, like, it is against this wall. So, screen on one wall, entertainment center and all the doodads on another wall, and then on another wall is like the full library setup. And it looks like Alexandra is kind of lounging on one of the couches. So imagine like these stuffed leather couch, like one of those all-arounders, like I think the U-shaped ones.
Mhm.
You got the lounge part, you got the couch part, and you got the love seat part and whatever. I mean, but it's big, stuffed. You almost don't see her because it's like she's just like, stretched out on it. But you'll see like a hand waving, to this music that's sort of distant sounding, but then you realize she's kind of wearing half wearing headphones, half not. And she's there. And
What kind of music?
Okay, I'm going to give you the description and you tell me what kind of music.
Okay.
She is spoiled, detached, and self-absorbed. What kind of music do you think she'd be listening to?
I think it's something that's pretty current club music kind of stuff. In other words, Astrid has no idea what that is except noise. But
Probably.
Astrid's a music snub, can't help it. Uh, but I will step into the room and sort of step into. Ouch. Uh, Post Malone. Step into her field of vision and kind of signal that I'm trying to get her attention and see if she takes off the headphones and talks to me.
And then she'll yeah, like imagine. Okay, so how to explain how she looks? She's wearing loungewear, which is like essentially yoga pants, maybe a crop top, and a long hoodie. However, these yoga pants have like painted design all the way down one leg. The hoodie looks like it's made of cashmere, and the crop top is like one of those like is clean because she like it's like stark white because it's like she don't do working out in this thing at all. Okay, this thing is not getting sweated on. So, and she's got like like that smooth blonde hair and like perfectly applied makeup, so much so that it's like it's you get this impression that if you poke your finger through it, it's like it's gonna maybe hit skin after an inch. And she does that annoying thing that me personally, IRL, hate, which is doing that lip liner thing that is very visible with the lighter lipstick inside. Anyway, and she's like got her headphones half on and half off, so that's why you can hear the music. And she's kind of like just kind of doing this like little thing, to it or whatever. And she looks at you very languidly with half lidded eyes. Oh, hello.
Hello, I just wanted to pass on my condolences. This must be such a terrible time, losing your grandfather and so horribly and suddenly losing your cousin.
Oh, yes, it's absolutely terrible for sure. She's kind of like not really there,
Mm-hmm.
And do you like this? I mean, like, this is really good, right?
Yes, lovely. Delightful.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
It's like I have to listen to music when when people are talking because, it's the way to concentrate and stuff. And sometimes it's like just can't stand listening to my family talk.
Hmm. Well, times like these do bring out all the tensions in a family.
Oh, tensions. But sometimes you can get like just more than a little dirt,
Oh,
She's like
really?
smiling to herself. Oh,
Goodness, I wouldn't have thought your family had dirt.
I don't know. My dad's been busy keeping the old girl, the BelCanto, afloat, I've been listening, yeah, to music. Yeah, just music. If you really want to get a scoop, text me your number. I'm happy to respond in emojis. Hashtag festive turned funeral.
I understood about half of that, but I will text her my number.
Oh, look at that. That's so cool. That is that like an older model? She's
Yes.
looking at your phone.
Yes. It is. I
You really
haven't
should get
seen
that
it in years.
updated. You're not going to be able to get my Instatellies like, like immediately,
Oh, well,
like the app needs to be updated and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you really just need to get a new phone.
I will have to look into that. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, like you got to check out my videos. I mean, like, I am totally the influencer on like some of the latest fashion. I mean,
Oh,
this is a worth right now what I'm wearing. And she's like referring to her yoga pants.
yes. That's lovely. The painting is really something. I haven't seen one
Hand
like
done.
that.
Yeah, hand done. Oh, okay. So, and then like, then she's going to like, so you want a little dirt, huh?
Well, I will sit down next to her and be all conspiratorial.
Oh, let's dish. And then she'll go ahead and roll me. Huh. Excuse me. Ooh.
Okay, let's.
Unfortunately, they don't have a stat for accepting bullshit. So you have to use 2d6 plus. I'm gonna call composure on this one just
Okay.
because. Yeah, I mean. Anyway, do you have anything in your personal quarters you want to use to help you with this roll?
You know, I think that I am thinking back about the some of the extremely shallow people I've known and had to appease, amuse, politic with whatever in the course of my career,
Mhm.
and how my ability to play that kind of game did work into my winning a certain award once upon a time.
Mm.
So I think I'm going to use my award plaque.
Ooh, nice. Nice. Okay, so 3d6, take the two
Okay.
highest.
3d6
Plus
1.
your composure.
Yup. Okay, so that was not a good roll. That was a grand total of 6.
Okay. Alrighty. Birdie, I'm gonna cut to you for a sec before I deal with the 6. All right.
I'm not good at dishing with the young.
We're finding that out. Okay. Birdie. So do you want to stay in Miles's old room, or do you want to kind of look around a little bit more?
I think I'd like to join up with Astrid
Mhm.
and the youth TM.
The youth. Cool. So I mean, like, I think, as she's like dishing away, like they're companionably sitting together on the couch. I think you come into, I think you see like Astrid's head. And you come into the room. Do you say anything, or you're just kind of like edging in? What do you think?
No, I'm not at all sneaky at this point. I can kind of half hear the music
Mhm.
that's coming, and I wheel around the side of the couch and I'm like, girlfriend, is that the latest Lizzo? What are you listening to?
And
Directly addressing the
nice.
Yeah.
And I think she looks up at you, and she just kind of gets this shine in her eyes, like, somebody that knows. Oh my God. So she she had started texting Astrid, but then she's like, she'll pat the seat on the other side of her that's available, and she's like, come here, come on, let's dish. And then it's like, text me your number.
Okay, I'm going to sit next to her and whip out my cell phone, which is not the latest model of iPhone, but like an older model of iPhone. And I'm going to say, my grandchildren taught me how to use Instagram. Are you on the grams?
Yes.
Because I am a gram.
Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. Hashtag adorable cute. Yeah. Okay, you are totally rolling with presence, giving you an advantage for, dealing with the young. All right, great. Gramsonic.
God dang it. How I stay in touch with my knitting buddies.
Oh my Lord. Okay, great. So yeah, 3d6, two highest plus your, what the hell I said.
That thing. Roll it. Okay, I got 2 6s. No, wait. A 6, a 3. That's 9 plus 2.
11.
Thank you. Math.
Only goes up to 11. Great.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. So let me deal with Astrid first. Okay. I think she's commiserating with Birdie, and then you kind of fall completely flat. 'Cause
Right.
she's kind of like giving you the side eye at this point, and like she's texting you, but it comes out. Let's just say that she texts you something #rude. Okay. So yeah, it doesn't go over very well. And yeah, I'm thinking she has a drink on the table, like in front of her, like as she's sitting in this lounge, this big stuffed ass chair. And she takes a sip of it as she's trying to commiserate with Birdie next to you, or even next to her, and then ignoring you. But she's taking the sip of this thing, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, what's in this thing? This mojito does not taste right at all." And as she's doing she starts to get up, and she's clutches her throat, and imagine that scene from Heathers.
Splash through the coffee table.
That is your 6.
Okay.
So you can continue on with that, or you can change it up with a crown.
This is a good time for a crown. I did not murder her. Somebody murdered her, apparently. But this is a good time for a crown to retcon that out of happening.
And so it's
And
either
I am gonna use the Ghost of Christmas Past. So
fantastic.
everybody buckle in, because I want to know what this does.
Okay. I think. Well, okay. So again, Crown of the Ghost of Christmas Past. It's like, it applies to your role, which gets it to a 7 to 9. Sorry, crossing this out so I don't know. And then everybody does this later on. Each player narrates a flashback about a time something serious happened before or during Christmas, during the holiday. So again, each player narrates a flashback about a time something serious happened before or during Christmas. Or the holiday, sorry, if we don't celebrate Christmas. Go ahead and pop this in here. There you go. I put it into the Zoom chat. All right. Okay, so let me give each of you a clue, Birdie and Astrid. So this way you have it complete. So, you're getting along with the young Birdie. Oh my gosh. And she's gonna tell you. She's gonna dish to you through texting, actually. She's gonna dish to you about family gossip overheard about illegitimacy. Family gossip overheard about illegitimacy. And I think Astrid, so instead of that badness happening to you, I think you find in this room, there's like ton of end tables and stuff like that. And then they seem to have like some things piled. It's like those end tables that have the top surface, but then they also have like the little bottom surface that people can put like remotes or whatever. And you see like a family album. And just out of curiosity, since she's ignoring the hell out of you, you go ahead and take a look at it. This family album has missing photos. And you can tell because there's specific spots that look like they have like little labels on them. There's no photo there. It's an older family album, if you couldn't tell already. This is not something that Alexandra would use. All right. So that is, I think a good last clue. Your family album with missing photos. All right. Does everybody feel satisfied with where they're at right now? You can continue on with your date, Effie, if you'd like. Hang out with Sam and then Diane. I think that you have your conversation with Howard, and he, after the initial gasp with the strange ornament, I think he's going to pick that up. And again, it's mechanical, so it's like, there's nothing fleshy about it, thank God. But I mean, it's just like, who would have created this? This is pushing up his glasses. Monstrous. Oh goodness. I'll have to take this back to the factory and see who thought this was funny. Oh.
Well, I hope whoever it is, you fire them twice.
Yes, absolutely. I can't imagine who would. This is not funny. We can't have this anywhere. We can't put this out in the display. I mean,
I think that she's gonna sort of conspiratorially sidle up to him and be like, look, we both know you cannot be seen with this travesty ever.
No, absolutely not.
You should let me dispose of it for you. I'm nobody. I can just fade away.
Yes. This gets out that this came out of
Imagine the damage to your reputation.
Oh, we can't have that. And then I will place this right here. And he puts it on the table, like away from the rest of the ornaments. And keeps
so it doesn't like contaminate them.
Right. And then I have to continue inventorying the rest of these to make sure that they're all in the correct places in the display. The charity auction will be happening later on this week. I have to make sure everything's perfect.
You are a busy man.
Absolutely. If this happens to get lost, no harm, no foul, correct?
Who would even know?
Who would even know? And then he'll like tap the side of his nostril and then push his glasses back up on his face. I think this is a good time to close the scenes and talk about freewheeling discussion at a character. You guys have, hold on, mysteries. 10 clues. Oh boy. Just piling it on. All right. So we're going to go over all of them and then we will decide, you guys will decide if you have a theory that uses at least 7. For complexity 7, I mean, you just have to have a minimum of, I'll say 4, because you can always run with half of the complexity to be able to formulate a theory. But I mean, again, to get the better roll, you want at least the complexity number to do this well. The clues for this mystery: sheet music for I'll Be Home for Christmas, the last page missing. Draft of a gala program with a key name missing. Expired heart meds, half full, the label with the name torn off. Missing plaque in the honors hall. Broken holly stamp limited edition collectible. An argument regarding a buyout offer. A scratched flip phone with dad and mom listed as contacts. Only those. An amateur songbook missing Baby It's Cold Outside. Missing family photos in a family album. And family gossip about illegitimacy. Those are your 10 clues. And so does anybody have a theory they'd like to propose using these? Again, so the context for the background: Miles Greaves, the founder of the BelCanto Concert Hall, had died. And at his funeral, his drunken grandson had said, "Pity he missed his milestone. Surprised the old curmudgeon wasn't murdered." He was murdered, wasn't he? And then he was found, and then Nathan, the nephew, was found dead the next day from a blow to the back of the head. So, any theories?
Okay. I'm guessing the heart meds may be a sign that Miles was murdered. That somebody switched out the medication he was supposed to be taking with somebody else's old meds. And that he may have been old and ill to begin with, but that hastened his demise. And it may be that the timing was not coincidental. They wanted it to happen before the gala.
Maybe Miles was going to make an announcement at the gala. Something that would change the inheritance, because there was some issues of legitimacy, and it came out that what is his name? Winston, the eldest son of Miles and the primary heir, was not actually his son. And so Miles, in an attempt to squash that announcement, hastened his father's demise.
Okay. And Winston would then have incentive to silence the nephew who so publicly speculated about that very thing.
Yes.
Okay. So the key name missing from the gala program would presumably be Winston's. If that was a program that Miles had been working on before.
Yeah, before the incident.
Yes. Excuse me, I need to step away for just a second.
I think it's likely that either the holly stamp or the missing plaque was the murder weapon for Nathan, which is why the plaque is missing, or the stamp is broken. I don't know which one is more likely, depending on placement and weight. What do you guys think?
I'm leaning towards the plaque, only because I think he was killed by a blow. So I think the plaque would be a more fitting.
I'm leaning towards the plaque as well.
Okay.
Do we think maybe the scratched flip phone was actually Winston's phone? And the numbers that are put in for the mom and dad contacts indicate which one of them is illegitimate.
Oh, so it's like bio
His
mom and
real,
dad.
bio parent.
Yes, and that's why it was only those two numbers, because it's a separate phone, separate
burner
phone
phone
line.
to contact his
Right.
parent, his real parents. Okay, all right. I was trying to figure out how to tie that flip phone in. I'm like, who has that?
It's Winston's burner phone.
Obviously. Yeah. I was thinking something with the buyout offer is maybe the sister, because she's kind of got her own thing going, but maybe she was trying to almost like buy off Miles, like, no, keep him, keep Winston as your heir, because she maybe had some other dealings with Winston. Maybe he was helping fund part of her business. And so she was like kind of trying to somehow weasel working with the dad to keep Winston in the will as the main inheritor. Because it wasn't clear what was being bought out. So
Right.
maybe she was offering to buy out something from the dad to keep it in the family, with the agreement that Winston would still get the inheritance to keep that in the family.
To save the family name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
No, I was just agreeing with that. Continue.
Do we think Winston did the murdering himself, or do we think that he hired somebody else to do it, or coerced somebody else into doing it? And if so, perhaps the weird sheet music and songbooks with missing pages was their way of communicating.
There's an ex or a fiance or somebody who was visiting.
It was David, right?
My niece's ex-fiance is in town. Not as far as we have currently established connected with this family, but we could certainly tie him in.
Yeah, because he has no reason to come to the town.
Except to
mean,
win her
outside of
back
it.
or some sort of
Well, what if I
deal.
like the idea that the sheet music is somehow connected to like the murderer. And I think it would be interesting if like the guise of him coming back was to win her back.
That was
Yeah.
that was the excuse to get him
Mhm.
here. Right. That makes sense.
Is it possible that David came back maybe not because he was madly in love with Celia, but because he was angry that he got caught cheating on her and was removed from any possibility of marrying into the family?
Oh,
So-
David is the
Is the old flame. Chess is the fiance.
Oh, Chess
Chess
is
is
the
the-
fiance. Okay. Oh,
yes.
or Chess.
Mhm.
Okay. Nope, I got it wrong.
No problem.
Yeah, there's a
But
lot of people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big cast this time.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it's like, there usually is like a lot of people in the mysteries, but I mean, I just threw them in there because I was afraid that I was going to forget to mention who was in there. So you actually got to see the choices that you had as opposed to being like dribs and drabs of, who would be likely in this space. If you were playing this with somebody else and then like, they would pick and choose again who you would meet. So it may not look as big,
Oh, okay.
with other mysteries. I mean, like, there was some, I'm trying to remember if there was somebody that you didn't necessarily meet. No, I think because it was a closed area, I think in All Hallows Scream you did meet everybody.
Also,
But
when you
yeah.
have a lot of people, you can kill some of them off.
Yeah,
That almost happened.
that almost happened. We rewound that.
Yep.
Yep.
I do like the idea of the music being used for covert communication.
Okay.
I also think the missing family photos are part and parcel of the illegitimacy argument.
Mm.
Definitely. Like,
Whereas where Miles yanked all the pictures of Winston out of the book when he found out that
Or
Winston wasn't his son.
the pictures of Winston's mother when he found out that Winston was illegitimate.
Yeah.
Because it's not really Winston's fault.
Yeah, but doesn't mean Daddy wouldn't blame him.
That's true. That's true.
Um,
But yeah, there was definitely some arguments happening in the home that
but
would have been
who's really part
overheard.
of this family? Yeah.
Yeah. And part of that is, maybe they came across him taking family photos out of the album going, you think you
Mm.
belong to this family? You don't belong to this family.
Mhm.
So I guess the question that remains then is who actually did the murder?
Who done did the murder? I won't implicate Sam. I love him too much.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if
Oh,
it
yeah.
was. I wonder if it was actually Howard Hawley.
Ooh.
Perhaps the limited edition collectible got broken during an attempt at coercion or an argument over fees.
Right? He did seem to have a pretty close handle on all of them and where they were and what they were doing.
Does that tie into the buyout offer somehow? Is there something?
Is it Holly, the Holly company that's buying out the?
I don't know if they're buying them out, but they're certainly benefiting. There's like a very beneficial relationship there, right? They're not buying them out, are they?
We don't know. I mean,
don't know.
we could establish that there was an offer made if we wanted to.
It's true.
Yes.
What is
And
the relationship between the Holly stamp company and the what's her name? Do
Teresa?
Rosella?
Rosella.
So the Holly Stamp Company has been the sponsor for the Great Holiday Gala here at the BelCanto for years. So, just expect that even through the founders of the Holly Stamp, that they have been, dribs and drabs funding this endeavor, this festival, this event for every year that the BelCanto has been open, even when it started as a little thing, and then now has grown into this big, concert event, which culminates into the charity auction and the ball. I mean, lots of events over the period of a week. And so Howard is the founder's grandson, but he is he's acting as the marketing representative of the company right now for the gala. And he knows Rosella because Rosella is the board president of the BelCanto.
She seemed to have some pretty strong opinions about how Howard should be conducting his business. That's all.
She has opinions over everything and how things should be running. You only just saw the way she was dealing with Howard. I mean, if you saw her in the hall, she would be telling other people how they should probably do things too.
How they should do things like murder.
Murder most foul.
Okay.
I can't work.
That is a
in
bird pun mystery, by the way. I mean, that Amanda Mullins had written. So
Marvelous.
Yep.
I know a different mystery called Murder Most Foul, but it's a murder mystery dinner plot about a chicken company and their mascot. And anyway,
would have to be a chicken company.
yes.
Of course.
We also we don't have to put in the broken Holly Stamp collectible. We
No,
have
you
9
don't.
explained clues and a 7 complexity mystery, so we're rolling at a +2, which is pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now you have to figure out, so who are you fingering as the murderer or murderers? I mean, as you did last time. Yeah.
I like the idea that Winston paid somebody off and communicated with the sheet music as code phrases.
He is not the kind of person who would do his own dirty work.
Yeah,
No,
he's not going to get
definitely
his
not.
hands dirty on that. He knows all about delegating.
If his pops taught him anything, it's delegation.
Yes.
And
So-
I do think that Winston and Howard, they clearly know each other, right? They have a very close business relationship, and a symbiotic business relationship. So if the BelCanto goes down, then maybe Holly Company goes down too.
Certainly it's going to be a big blow for their publicity and goodwill and so on. So yeah, maybe Winston said, okay, I'm about to get cut out of all this. Dad's planning to make it a big public thing. That's going to be not only bad for me personally, that's going to be bad for the family business. And so I need to make sure that announcement never happens. Nobody's going to question. I think it's possible that Winston did kill his father. Because a drug switch, that's an easy, deniable, low key, it's not direct violence.
It's not
And
dirty.
he was already practically dead anyway, right?
Exactly.
Like,
He can rationalize it easily enough. I'm
Get
just
Dad out of
speeding
pain,
him
yeah.
along.
Yeah.
And then when Nathan shot his mouth off, that's when Winston panicked. And he and Howard had been communicating secretly about the situation. But then that's when Winston told Howard, or told Howard, you have to do something about this. We can't let him go on like that. And Howard kind of panicked.
Oh, so you think that it was a double-handed murder? So it was essentially Winston, by neglect or convenient switching, had done away with Miles, and then Nathan just shot his mouth off. And then you think that Howard was on the spot somehow to take out Nathan?
Well, I was thinking that Winston pulled a who will rid me of this troublesome priest. Basically.
Okay.
Told Howard, something has to be done.
What if he offered instead, there was an argument over the buyout instead of between Teresa and somebody, between Howard and Winston, something to do with like the limited edition, like there was going to be a big show off, like he was going to buy up the whole collection to like make a big gesture or something, for the 50th anniversary to really kind of like pomp it up, and then was like, but I'll only I'm going to withdraw that if you don't help me out in this situation. So almost like a blackmail coming into play.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Knowing that
Right.
he was going to inherit all this money,
Yeah.
Right. If something goes wrong with my inheritance, then I can't make this big gesture for you.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I like
So
that
kinda
better
lock-
than implicating Teresa.
Right. So basically like locking the relationship by, well, you rub my back, I rub yours, but also like we have to do the same thing if we're gonna kill these people. All right, great. Not great, but you get the idea.
Not great, but
Not great,
Great.
but oh my goodness.
Plausible.
So we're saying Winston and Howard had a hand in both. But Winston more for Miles because he was on the spot at the
Right.
house. And then Howard because, well, Howard was on the spot. Nathan just happened to be there, or you don't even have to really figure out how to explain how that happened. Maybe it could have been a panic situation. Maybe it could have been
Luring him.
yeah.
what
I mean,
if-
well, because again, one thing that was not mentioned that I can add as a little bit of context is that Howard has known the Greaves family for quite a while, again, being grandson to the founders. And he has a little crush on Alexandra. So Alexandra is Nathan's cousin. And I mean, maybe he also knew, Howard knew Nathan as well because they're of the same generation-ish. And so therefore it's maybe Nathan had spouted off some stuff and or was friendly with Howard, and then Howard was able to get Nathan in a spot where wonk.
And the crush on Alexandra is extra incentive for Howard, because if her father gets cut out of inheritance, there goes her inheritance.
She can't have all the nice things.
True.
And he doesn't want that to happen to her.
Right. No, he doesn't.
And I did think of maybe a way to the Broken Holly stamp limited edition. So it had originally been a pair of elves with between them were holding like a screwdriver. And so it was one of the elves was broken off, the one with the head of the screwdriver, to pry the plaque off the wall.
Oh, that is so
To use it.
cool.
Love it.
Diane. Oh, I love
That
it.
MacGyver.
Yeah.
Came in handy. Damn it if it didn't. Holy crap.
I also just love the idea of a Christmas ornament that is two elves holding a screwdriver.
Me too.
I
As
Yes,
part
they're
of a
working in the
workshop
shop.
scene,
It's
it
a
kind of
keep-
makes sense.
It's
it doesn't
believable.
all
It's
have to be
believable.
ornaments. Yeah, well, it doesn't
Yeah.
all have to be ornaments. It's a keepsake, a practical, useful keepsake
Practical
the-
and useful for murder.
for the tool person in your life, the
Mhm.
one who fixes and repairs everything. It
Or
could be one of
murders.
those things. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that puts you at 10 clues, like 10 clues that you're using for this, like implicating Howard and Winston, and for the double murder essentially.
Mhm.
And so that puts you at a +3. So who's gonna roll? Again, I will accept one person each, like doing a die.
I think
Like,
last time it was Astrid and myself.
Okay,
So
so Effie and Birdie.
Okay.
So 1-6
One
each.
1d6 each.
1d6 each.
No, that can't be right. It says I got a 13. That can't be right at all.
Oh wait, hold on. Did you
On
hit
the
it
D6?
twice? Wait, how
I
did that
don't know
work?
what happened. There we go.
Oh dear.
Oh no. Oh,
What did
dear.
you get?
One.
Wait, what did you get, Effie?
I rolled a 13 and then I rolled a 1.
And Effie got a 2. Oh
Sounds
dear.
like 3.
3.
+3 is 6.
Okay, I know how it works in the between. I know how it works in the between. The way it works in the between is that you're wrong. And that brings off a big keeper reaction from me. Oh dear.
your dice
Um,
privileges are revoked.
I
Um,
said I had my finger on my nose.
You did. You tried to opt out. You tried.
Holy crap. I mean,
This is
hold
why I
on a
didn't roll
second.
last time.
Okay, hold on. Okay, come on. All right, here we go.
This
Yeah,
just means we're
anything
gonna
you
have
can
to have
do
another
to boost.
session.
Oh my god. Hold on. No 12 plus result.
we have
Okay,
to-
fine.
Spend a night in jail.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, there could be some serious ass complications for this, I will say. Come on, theorize. Sorry.
So one of the Mavens gonna
Ooh.
fall through a table?
Oh god. You know.
Your roll was worse. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well,
It's
hold on.
true. It's true. And that table it's still sitting right where it was,
It's still sitting right in front of you.
begging to be destroyed.
I have Santa with me. I can't go wrong.
What if it was him the whole time?
No.
Don't do that.
Sorry.
Oh, God.
And you've
Ate my
invited him
glittery
into your
cookies.
home?
Yeah, you invited him in your
You're
home.
alone with him?
It was Santa the whole time, and when we start theorizing, he's like, shh.
Okay, here we go. All right, sorry, I had to find this rule in the book. Okay, so what if the theorized role is a miss? This is when things can get really interesting. The theory is wrong, of course, but also you get to react, meaning me. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I could
Oh
just
boy. Oh boy.
you could just put the Mavens in particular change situation. Okay. Ooh. Oh dear.
You know you're playing really good when they have to look up the special rules for how bad you failed.
Yes. Yes.
We didn't fail that bad. We had a 6 total, which is just shy.
Okay. There's also a question of whether and how the Mavens can attempt the theorized role again.
Mm.
The answer is yes. They can make another attempt, but not until you have reacted as a result of the initial missed roll and they have dealt with that reaction. Oh my god. Oh boy.
So should we start by setting a scene about how we reveal all of this and are super confident in our revelation, or
Oh, yeah.
And our incorrect revelation.
Wait, isn't there that oh no, that's that other thing. Never mind.
yeah, nothing
you
can
can't use-
affect a
you
theorized
can-
roll.
Right. You
Yeah.
cannot use a gold crown mysteries move
That's what
on
I
a
was thinking,
theorize.
yeah.
Not at all.
Okay.
like for the like trying to do the resolution
fix.
afterwards. You can, I mean,
Yeah.
but no, not for the theorize itself,
Okay,
unfortunately.
got it.
And
I mean, it could be something as simple as like, we all pile in the car to go confront somebody or whatever, and then like something terrible happens to us or whatever on the way there, right? Like we don't have to like publicly spit out this, absolutely incorrect
Publicly implicate innocent people.
right, exactly.
yeah,
Santa
exactly.
was in the back seat the whole time
Oh my God.
with the
Okay.
hook for a hand.
Yes.
Oh, what is that? Wait, what was that Santa movie? Like Silent Night, Deadly Night or something?
Oh yeah.
No. Oh my gosh, I don't want that to happen. Oh shit. Oh my God.
I'll put myself on mute. Sorry.
Oh, of course it's me. Of course it's me dealing with this. It's great. It's like, oh gosh, okay. Because I'm the player's biggest fans, and it's like I'm such a softie, I swear.
We are at the end of the session. Do you want to?
Yes, I do want to deal with it. We obviously have to deal with this because it's like you got to do this again. They can make another attempt at the theorize, but not until you have reacted as a result of the initial misroll and they have done with that reaction. Okay, so let's see how this goes. I think. Well, I also owe you another void clue, and this is a cute one that I really want to put in there. Let's just say that you are talking about this, and then you go back. I mean, again, you guys have tickets to pretty much everything. So I think Astrid, you're going to want to go to the, one of the first concerts, which is again the choral concert and such. But I think what happens is, as you are going to this concert, I think you guys get there early because Astrid always likes to have a particular seat when she's sitting in the BelCanto, like, for sound purposes. And then, maybe you're actually able to go in a little bit earlier to watch them get set up. And I think you four are in a row all together. And then nobody else is around yet for whatever reason. And then I think Celia comes on the stage. She doesn't look like her normal self. She looks like she's dressed to perform because she's one of the featured singers or soloists for the concerts. And I think somewhere, someone has turned on the spotlight on her, and then the house lights go down, and you four are watching. Maybe you take a surreptitious look at each other. What's going on? What's this? Performance isn't supposed to start yet. You hear the distinct shoom of the doors of the concert hall locking. And you see Celia go onto the stage, the spotlight on her, and her eyes look glazed over, as if she's not really aware that she's there. And she opens her mouth to sing. And out of character, I don't know whether YouTube is going to clamp down on me hard for doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. And Celia opens her mouth to sing. Oh, little town of Brindlewood, how still we see thee die. Above thy deep and darkened sleep, the screaming stars do cry. Yet in thy blood streets shineth the eldritch horror blight. The hopes and fears of all the tears are met in thee. this night. And she falls down faint on the stage. And the light goes out. And you are in darkness. And that's where we end the session today.
You get a show.
Now someone else is getting murdered.
Yeah, us. We're
It's
getting
us.
murdered.
Oh gosh.
They locked us in and sang like a death hymn and then murdered us.
Absolutely have to know, how far in advance did you write that song?
I actually had that song prepared because I was going to write a Brindlewood Bay like sweeps week mystery, but I hadn't worked out all of the details yet. It's actually, there's a different town in the name, but yeah. So, I mean, like I had this like ready for a few months.
Spooky.
That was magnificent.
So
That was
good.
magnificent.
That was so good.
Okay. So we're at the,
Now we're all
like,
dead.
The end.
you're
This
at
will-
the end of the particular session. I mean, like, you could conceivably go through the session questions, but I don't think they really apply in this case.
Yeah, I think it's more of a
Who
Yeah.
cares about experience when you're dead?
Yeah. Well, anyway.
We had
Anyway.
a good run, ladies. We had a good run.
So
Lived a good life.
We'll be seeing Todd soon.
oh my god. Oh no. Oh my
Sheriff
gosh.
really will never figure out who bombed that tree.
No. Nope.
Okay, so stars and wishes. Stars are things that you liked in today's session, the gameplay, each other, what have you, and then wishes are what. Now, I mean, again, like just have to discuss this. If you do you want to try and do this, for next week. I mean, I can talk to my between group and say, guys, we got to delay like one more week because we have a problem. There's a problem,
mean,
Houston.
I don't want to put you out or anything. Like, I would definitely like to do another
Yes. Yes.
session.
yeah.
But
If
like,
It doesn't
next
have
week
to
is
be
a
over your
problem,
other
then-
guys, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'll ask if they're not okay with it, like if they want to continue on. That's already another campaign that's driving me crazy, but okay. Then we'll try to work out something with the five of us to hopefully find another like convenient day to
Right.
this just holy crap. Okay. So again, wishes for what you'd like to see for next time.
I would like to see us be alive. That would be
well,
my wish at the
See,
beginning
I
of the
was going to
How
say the
dare you.
opposite.
oh my gosh.
I would like to
How
see
did get the
the death
Oh,
of all
boy.
the Mavens.
No. Death of all the Mavens, and from now on we solve mysteries as ghosts.
As ghosts.
Oh,
Nice.
That's
Ghosts of
a
Christmas
whole
past.
different. See, I just saw the chat. Holy fuck. Oh, oh my god, that's terrible. Oh shit. Oh my god. I love this group. Okay. So I'm just gonna get started just because holy crap. This was such a darling session, and I thank you for helping me feel more comfortable with my mystery that I wrote, because as I've said before, it's like sometimes play testing / doing something that you've personally done and then trying to be able to teach and present it to a group. Sometimes that goes awry. Sometimes it's a success. Sometimes it's just like, does this sound good? Does this work for you guys? I don't know. This is why we have stars and wishes. So you all did wonderfully today. Didn't have as many switchbacks and forths. So that's like, that would be my wish, is like to have given you a little bit more of a cinematic switchback experience, but you all got the clues, you all got your roles. Even for the ones that didn't, the one miss that you had, that still wasn't too bad. And then you could always bump it up. So, just make a note of that for next time, Astrid, that you've got that crown to take care of. And then, but yeah, until the theorized roll, everything was going great. So stars to that, just because it's like, it just adds that nice little wrinkle that we can't exactly explain away like we do in the between. Because in the between, I will say, if you wow up the the answer question roll, the players do have the option of taking on masks, using up one of their masks, or if somebody hasn't used up the threat mask yet, somebody will pick the threat mask, and then everybody does it on top of the other masks that need to be done, and then
Baby game.
push it up to the next tier. Okay. To at least the 7 to 9, which at least makes your theory right. It just complicates it like hella much. But yeah, I mean, like, it was so good. I mean, like, seeing you guys paired up, and then having the opportunity to do the cozy moves. They were so cute. I loved it. Yeah. So aside from figuring out how to get out of that particular little setup thing at the cliffhanger, yeah, I mean, like, I would look forward to seeing you guys redo the role, solve the mystery, and be able to get through the resolution. I mean, like, one of the other things that I was thinking about was I would love to see, let me see, I would definitely want to see Effie use the Angus MacGyver move for sure. There's a lot of stuff that are like, bits and bobs around the concert hall. So, I mean, like, it's reasonable to think that you would be able to do something with it. And then, of course, like, Doctor would have stuff in her medical bag. I mean, like, the nurse would have something in her medical bag and be able to help out as well. So I want to see everybody get to use their Maven move, at least once. And then, yeah, just, yeah. I'm like, floored. I have no idea. I mean, again, it's, as most of you well know, it's like I pants most of my stuff. So I mean, like, if I come up completely like speechless, it's because, wow, I wasn't expecting that to happen. Great.
I told you I didn't want to roll.
I'm so glad
Hey.
you did, though.
Well, yeah, because
yeah.
I mean, again, it forced me to look at the book, which I will admit I don't do often.
And you're like, please hold.
To clarify, yes, but it works. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And of course, it's my
It's
mystery.
exciting. So,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
mean, it's definitely,
Yeah, I'd watch that.
what happens next? What happens next?
On next week's episode.
Kathleen, your eyebrows in that last scene just like shot straight off your
Yeah.
face.
I
It
can't
was
wait
great.
I cannot wait to rewatch this thing. I'll tell you, because like once this thing converts over, I'm gonna be like, oh my God.
You did what?
You did
Her eyebrows like
what?
literally lifted above her head and just like
That's
kept going to the top
amazing.
Of the screen.
I'm sorry I missed it. I'm just like, wait, no, like at the point of the end when I said it, or when?
I think like
as
as
you're
you were
singing,
singing,
it was like
that
singing
whole
was
time,
just
yeah.
like
started, yeah.
So funny. Oh my God. I'm like, I wasn't even watching. I was like trying to watch my lyrics and stuff like that, but it was so funny. That's why that's why I rewatch everything, because I'm like, I don't catch everything when
oh,
you guys are
sure. You
reacting.
have a lot to think about.
Yes. I've got about 5 screens open right now. 5 tabs. So, okay, sorry, that was me. Go ahead. Everybody else.
I'll
Stars
go
or
next.
wishes. Okay.
I'd like to give stars to Daniel, for the absolute hilarious, spot on portrayal of Diane. Like, I was dying over here.
Mhm.
Amazing. Great character exploration.
Laying it on so
Sabotage.
thick.
Yeah, I just loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. And for wishes, I wish I would not roll a 1 on the theorize next time. That would be my main wish.
Maybe if we fail again, though, it'll just be even more epic.
Just fail our way to success.
Exactly.
Once
mean,
we've
you say it like this for the next
incorrectly
time.
pegged everybody else, we'll finally have eliminated it down to the correct killer.
What's going to happen is we're going to fail our way into a long form campaign, and Matt won't have any.
We've actually sabotaged the dice roller so that we can
Yeah.
never succeed. You're stuck with us forever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. You said you love this group, so Merry
You know what?
Christmas
I put it out
forever.
in the universe, and the universe spat back at me.
That's what you get for hyperbole.
Yeah, I should stop doing that, but
I think I can go next, I guess. So like definitely stars for that like season finale cliffhanger thing that happened. That was amazing. Oh, hey, little kitty. I think like the typical move in this case is like, the Mavens wind up going to confront someone or whatever, and they're already dead, right? Oh no, they've been murdered, and now your theory is in shambles, and you have to deal with this situation, whatever. But like, this was way cooler than that and creepy AF. So I was real excited about that. I loved being able to like, last time I had the wish to have a little bit more like spatial freedom and stuff like that, and I thought we got that in spades. That was great. I loved being able to have the freedom to choose where we're going to go explore and get to go hang out with the other Mavens. That was a lot of fun. The cozy moves were a lot of fun. So I loved it, and I love all your characters, which I said last time, so I'm not going to say it again, but it's still there. And I love the cat, because how can you not? Let's see, for wishes, I think I got part of my wish at the end of this one, actually, but definitely for wishes, like, I'm excited to see the characters in more regular Peril, I think. Like, I think both, like, most of the investigative stuff we've done the last couple times has been, like, hilarious and fun, but it has not been at all perilous. So, like, this really scratched that Peril itch for me, and I'm excited to see some more of that dark Peril in the future. And then in my Peril itch, yeah. I have one, it's true. So yeah, I think that's it for me.
I can go next. So yeah, the singing was awesome. Really liked that, and it was so good just like to wrap it up in like a little creepy package that we get to open next time. Yeah, like a little goblin. So yeah, thank you. Like, I know you said you had a lot of clues that we haven't really touched on, but I like that we were still able to get them and kind of see them. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Still learning the system, and you've done great, teaching us Mads. Diane, yeah, sabotage. Sabotage. It was perfect. Like, I loved it. Yeah, Birdie, you are so snoopy and just like hip, but you snoop, but you knit. Like, you're the package. You're the package grandma on the grams. Yes, that whole thing was just the best. And then Astrid, of course, you're always just like the classiest, and like somehow, like, it's not condescending, but like you can tell that you are like just ever so slightly like above everybody. And I love it, because it's not like you don't play snooty, but you could definitely tell that you're like, oh yeah, I only drink the finest of teas and the finest of mulled wines. Yeah, definitely, I'm here for it. I'm here for these characters. I love them all. Wishes, I don't want to dig my own grave. That would be nice.
Too late.
I know we all have shovels now, but yeah, I want to see more of, I think I want to see more of like Brindlewood. Like I want to kind of build the town a little more. So I like that we got to kind of pick in some of those pieces this time with like a little bit more of like our houses and our cozy places, and then like kind of getting to see, the estates and stuff. I like doing the like set the scene stuff. So more of that.
And you also did not visit Rest Your Head boarding house.
No.
So I mean, that is another location that is available to you if you decide to continue on.
Live.
If you're alive, when you come back to consciousness and escape
The
your
eternal Rest Your Head.
yeah.
Oh, that's a different game. I mean, like that's more like probably in the Beetlejuice expansion of Brindlewood Bay.
I really think there's room for a ghost expansion for Brindlewood Bay. I think that would be funny. Meddling from beyond the grave.
Yeah, like paranormal investigators in reverse.
Well,
Yes,
Paranormal
exactly.
Incorporated is
Paranormal.
like based and carved by Brindlewood, so carved from Brindlewood, I should say. And so I mean it has the same mechanics, like, you know, obviously they're paranormal investigators, and it's like it's a GM-less game, so everybody helps facilitate, which is fun. I mean, like if you watch any of the episodes on my YouTube, it's like, you know, it can get really weird. Yeah, so
So stars for me again to everybody. The song was just the creepiest, most perfect thing. That was absolutely hairs on the back of the neck standing up. That was perfect. And I love all of our characters. And I think the only thing that I really want to see next time is Celia's romantic dilemma, because we didn't really touch on that. So if we get a chance to work that in somehow, I'd like to see her choices, and I already know who I'm rooting for, but you know, old hometown flame versus the jerk who cheated on her in the big city. Come on.
and you also haven't met either of them yet, you know.
Well, yeah.
You just heard about them, like, you know, Great Auntie. I mean, like, you know, well, I mean, it depends on how friendly you think you've been with Celia and Celia's family for a while. But I mean, again, you know, since she's musical like you are, I think you would have probably followed her progress for a few years, even before you moved to Brindlewood. And
Yeah.
so there's a good possibility maybe you do know, or you do remember David. Who knows? Because they sang together, you know,
Yeah.
when they were in the old youth choir days. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Sang together and signed a wall together. So yeah, that's I had a blast. I want to know. I definitely want to continue this.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, just terrific time.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, totally. Fun until oh, I still can't get over that. Holy crap. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it. So okay. So I will probably be asking advice of the Gauntlet publisher Discord. It's like, how do I handle this again? This is what I'm thinking of doing. Maybe it's like, you know, if any of you are on it, you do not like you open up that spoiler. I'm gonna be like,
Right. Yeah.
my players are on it. I'll kill you. Although they probably would have some good suggestions, so I could pick any one of those really. But anyway, yeah. So any other stars and wishes or the debrief items we want to talk about or laugh about?
Nothing else comes to mind.
Oh my god. So thank you guys again for a wonderful time. Sorry for going over it again.
Okay with me.
Yep. And yeah, we'll see whether it be next week or if we have to find another time, which I mean, again, I totally get. And yeah, because I mean, I can imagine my group like, you know, itching to get back to their craziness. And it's wonderful and I love them for it. So you guys have a wonderful time this week, you know, gaming your games. And if I see you again in another game, like, I'm not surprised. And we'll see what the schedule looks like for the continuation and hopefully the finale of this mystery. Holy crap. Okay.
It's like my one shot that turned into a 3-shot.
Oh yes. But that was good. And by the way, guys, for the rest of y'all, I mean, like, you know, Rachael took us through what was supposed to be a one shot of The Strange.
Mm-hmm.
The cipher system game.
We kept getting to really good like cliffhangers. And
yes.
they're like, more?
More.
Oh,
We've got
okay.
to finish.
We
I think we ended up in
can do
hell.
it.
We ended up in hell, didn't we?
Yeah. No,
Yo.
you got out.
Okay.
Remember?
But I mean,
but you brought
were
back somebody with you.
Yes, we were in hell though.
Oh yeah, you were essentially in hell.
Yes. So yeah, it was great.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, they burned everything at the end to like
we did.
snap out of there.
We really did. It was great.
Because they basically summoned the whole army of hell down
Mhm.
upon their heads.
Yes.
And they're like, we gotta go.
Okay.
So, good
Ah,
times.
excitement. All right. Never any boredom.
Mm.
So again, you guys have a wonderful night, morning, whatever, and I will see you for another game, hopefully very soon.
Yay.
Hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
I will
thank
as
you.
soon as I can get this converted, well, probably not until tomorrow or whatever, then like I will definitely send this to y'all. It's like, what do we do? What do we do?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye bye.